Guys, people, everyone, there is a lot of news that we have with Scarlet Violet and leaks, and every day I wake up and there's more. So, before I show you guys anything, now is your chance to click off the video if you don't want to hear anything about Scarlet Violet at all. If you don't want to hear about returning Pokemon, I'm not going to show any pictures because that's going to give me copyrighted. I'm not going to show any pictures. I'm just going to show like the data, like numbers and stuff, because that's fine. That I've been like recorded on like Reddit and my own spreadsheets and stuff. But there's so much. we know all the new Pokemon stats and move pools and returning stuff. There's so many things that are changing. And so this video I'm going to talk about a lot, and I'm going to theory craft a lot of what I think is going to be good in VGC meta. So if you don't want to hear anything Scarlet Violet leaks, this is your chance to click off. I've given you a warning. I will not apologize if you see any stuff in this video you don't want to hear about, because I've already given you the warning. So let's talk about it. 3, 2, 1. Let's go, baby. Alright, so this list I've seen all the images of the confirmed Pokemon coming back to the game. I put them all on this list, all the fully evolved forms, as well as some other forms I'm not sure if we're seeing yet or not, and then DLC, paradox forms, alternate forms, and new evolutions and such. So I'm not gonna talk about this as if you haven't seen anything. I'm just gonna talk this video as if you've seen something. As if you've seen something. Here we go. Let's make this a little cleaner. As if you've been keeping up with the leaks. So here's the Pokemon we got. I think there's some really disappointing Pokemon that I wish I did not see back in the game. I'm looking at. Where are you? The genies are back. I don't care. I like Landorus. I think it's fine. I'm looking at... Where are you? You. Urshifu. You. Regieleki. You. Rillaboom. There's no Incineroar. We're free from Incineroar for now. There's no Incineroar for right now. But Urshifu being in the game is a huge concern to me. Grimmsnarl's in. That's fine. He's really good, but that's fine. Indeed's in too. That's fine. I was kind of hoping that we wouldn't have a lot of terrain setters and it was just Pincurchin. So electric terrain would be good, but like it still could be good. Tapu Koko being in the game would be really strong. So Pincurchin's like where is Pincurchin? Where's the little guy? Where is he? There he is. This little guy is gonna be really useful. We'll go over that. So Indeed's in. The Calyrex forms. There's also the restricted Pokemon that are in. Whenever we get to a restricted format, Kyogre is going to be horrifying. They did nerf these two's abilities, Dauntless Shield and Intrepid Sword, so it only activates the first time they come into battle. It won't activate every single time, so they can actually get stuffed out. You can force them out. You can force out Zacian and intimidate it. So that's pretty cool. Calyrex is in. Calyrex forms will be ridiculous with Terastallization. Terastallizing Regidrago. This video is gonna be just like me talking, so don't expect. It's just gonna be like me ranting and talking about things I'm seeing. But there's some good Pokemon here. There's some really good Pokemon here. There's not a lot of Swissum Pokemon, so it opens the door. I was hoping for a smaller Pokedex to open the door for the other Pokemon to be like potentially good. Which is not so much the case. Like I thought Staraptor could be good, but now that we have, we already knew we had Salamence and Arcanine competing for Intimidate, but we also have like Landorus is in, which kind of shuts down Staraptor's chances of being a good Intimidate Pokemon. There's more. There's another one I can't think of right now. Like same with Crocodile. I like Crocodile had the potential to be a good Pokemon this format, but because of Landorus, it's pointless. And also, Garchomp's here for another ground type. There's a lot of ground type competition, so things like Crocodile, Hippowdon are probably not going to be that good. Mudsdale, probably not going to be that good. Rillaboom, just being a really good fake out Pokemon. Like I was hoping for like I saw Berserker was in the game. I was like, ooh, maybe he could be really good like a fake out supportive Pokemon with Steely Spirit, and then I just see Pokemon like Rillaboom. So it could still maybe be good. I'll talk about it. And another huge thing you might be noticing: Legends Arceus forms. They're all in. They're all in. All their new moves are in. I've got these. I don't know if I want to show it. If I want to show these, I guess it's not like official information. If you guys follow Central Leaks on Twitter, this is how you find this information. We have all of the new Pokemon stats and moves and stuff. So this is like Basculegion. I was checking. Wave Crash is in. All of the new Legends Arceus moves are in, which includes Victory Dance on Lilligant, which was the crazy move. So which I assume it's got to be Physical Quiver Dance, right? It's got to just be Physical Quiver Dance, which is really good though. But so all of the new Legends Arceus moves are in. There's still like new Scarlet Violet moves we don't know about. Two big things I want to mention too. Scald is no longer a move. Really, it's locked to Volcanion. It's now a signature move to Volcanion. Nobody else has it. So I think that actually really hurts a lot of Pokemon's viability. Like, defensive bulky water types kind of just took a real big hit. I was going to use it on Clawitzer. Was like a huge example. I was really excited to use Scald Force. I had to rethink that set. I was pre-building something like Golduck, I guess. Like Suicune really hurts not having Scald. That would suck for Suicune later down the line. I guess there's not that many water types here. There's not a ton, so maybe it's okay. I guess just like for new Pokemon. Scald not being here just sucks. Scald not being on Pokemon, it hurts something like Colossal too. So Scald is no longer a move. Really, it's just on Volcanion, so it's not a move anymore. Hail has been changed. It's now Snow or Snowstorm, and I don't know if I haven't been able to confirm whether it keeps the accuracy for Blizzard or not. But let me turn the music down just a little bit. But instead of doing chip damage, it now raises the defenses of Ice-type Pokemon. So, oh my god, Glacier and Hail, dude, is gonna be unkillable. Oh boy. There's some other good Ice types that could be like Abomasnow. Hail I think it's just better. I think it's just better for Hail. Like Abomasnow now sounds pretty good. So does like the new Delibird Paradox form. Sounds actually pretty good to me. Ninetales would be good if it's in the game. It's not. Articuno could maybe have something in Hail. Glaceon is a huge benefit. I just have Eevee. I don't have all the Eevee forms, but Glaceon could be actually really bulky in Hail. And I want to know if it still keeps the 100% accuracy on Blizzard, because that could be huge for Glaceon. It could be really, really huge for Glaceon, especially because in Legends Arceus, all the Eevee forms got Calm Mind, so like Espeon. I'll go over some sets, some example sets. So here's all the new Pokemon. I'm going to go over some example sets of what I think is going to be good. First off, why are these Pokemon back in? So, I'm going to have what Terra type I have in their nickname. And if I'm covering a Pokemon that's like a Paradox form or something, I'll put that in the nickname. So just, when you look at stuff, look at the nickname for important things. Imagine a Terra Dark Urshifu. Wicked Choice Band. You still have Unseen Fist. I haven't heard anything about Unseen Fist being nerfed or changed. So Choice Band, Adamant, 252 is a 200 attack stat. Wicked Blow always crits, so the Intimidate never matters. 80 base power plus Stab plus Choice Band plus you Terra Dark, so you have the adaptability instead of Stab. So the Stab is ×2. So you have ×2. This thing always crits. The Choice Band, which increases your attack. You have this crazy attack stat. This thing, nothing's gonna switch into this. No resist is gonna take this hit. Nothing is gonna take this hit. And you just like Tailwind, because there's like you have like the Prankster Tailwind genies. Like you got like Tornadoes, so you can Prankster Tailwind, so just fine. So you like Tornadoes or Urshifu, and you just pick something to die. And there's only like 6 Pokemon that quad resist Wicked Blow, because like a single resist isn't gonna do anything. Like quad resist, you got like Grimmsnarl, Urshifu itself, quad resist it. Where's another Pokemon that quad resists that move? I am not seeing another quad resist to dark. I am not seeing the paradox form for Iron Valiant is a resist to that. Let me plug my headphones in because they're dying. So there's 3 quad resists so far. Oh, Heracross is a quad resist. The past paradox form for the Scarlet paradox form for Volcarona. Slitherwing it's bug fighting. That's another quad resist. There's like 4, 5. I'm gonna name 5 besides Urshifu itself. Everything's gonna die. Everything's gonna die to Urshifu. So Urshifu is gonna be a huge problem. And I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that. I'm really irritated that it's back in the game, honestly. There's just like some Pokemon that this game just needed to not bring back. And Urshifu was one of them. Urshifu is probably the biggest example with terrestrialization. So hopefully they nerf something. Hopefully they change something about Urshifu. Because, dear lord, this thing's gonna be crazy. Regieleki. You already have the crazy boost with Transistor. You put a magnet on, you Terra Electric. Like, you can Terra Ice to cover your weaknesses, but like you just like Terra Electric with rising voltage in electric terrain with Pincursion. Everything dies. Also, just Regieleki being in the game, bringing back this stupid speed tier. This really stupid speed tier that is so irritating to me. This was the biggest deal of Regieleki to me, was speed tiering. It just changes everything. Like, fast Pokemon are no longer fast because of Regieleki. Everything's flipped on his head. It was fine when Dragapult was the fastest Pokemon because like you could beat it with Scarf. You can't beat Aleki with Scarf. You can't. You literally can't. Like, Dragapult has to be Scarfed. Dragapult, the second fastest Pokemon like ever, has to be Scarfed to beat this Pokemon. And it has speed control and Electro Web, so I'm really irritated that Aleki's back in because it's just so frustrating to play against. Rillaboom, also really good. You just Terra Grass, Miracle Seed, Grassy Glide. I really, really, really hope they get rid of Grassy Glide on this Pokemon. Actually, I can find out right now. I can just find out if it still has Grassy Glide. Where is it? Where's Grassy Glide? Let me... Grass Knot. I am not seeing... Oh, that's Thwacky. Oh, that's why. Where's Grassy Glide? Let me just type Grassy Glide. I'm not seeing Grassy Glide. I don't see Grassy Glide. Okay. This is good. Okay, I hope this holds true. There's no Grassy Glide. I really hope this holds true. Because Grassy Glide was just priority really hard attack. Without it, I'm okay with Rillaboom. It's just fake out, bulky, slow, U-turns, like it's still gonna hit really hard with like Wood Hammer or something, but this is fine. Without Grassy Glide, this is fine. Okay. I'll shut up about Rillaboom. Oh, please tell me there's no Grassy Glide. Please tell me this is correct. Please tell me this is correct and there's no. Because that is huge. That would be so huge. You can set Grassy Terrain, that's fine. You just like nerf... You nerf ground type attacks, that's fine. Oh, please. Please tell me. Please tell me that Grassy Glide is just done. Oh, that's huge. Still, Regieleki and Urshifu are really irritating, but... I don't, there's not even a but. Like, it's just like, those two are gonna dominate. These two are gonna dominate. Like, why? Why, Game Freak? Why did you put them back? Why? Why did you put them back? I'll just talk about these real quick. Other sets for these two Pokemon, if you don't want to tear their main type, you could tear Poison Urshifu and be really solid, because it has Poison Jab. You could also do Terra Steel. Terra Steel or Terra Poison Urshifu would be really good with like Poison Jab or Iron Head, just to snipe the fairy types that threaten you. I was gonna say Terra Poison for like Tapu Fini, but Tapu Fini's not in the game, so it's like you'd be sniping a Azumarill, which I don't think is the biggest fairy type deal. Your Wicked Blow's already gonna kill like the Terraform of or not the paradox of Massacre or Mischievous, which is really, really good. You have to deal with the Iron Valiant Terran form, which is gonna be really strong. Other good fairy types. I'm trying to see other good fairy types. Enamorous, poison or steel, either one works. So yeah, poison or steel, Terra, they both hit. I guess steel probably is better actually. Probably Terra, steal your Urshifu. Give it Iron Head. They're both the same base power, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, so Terra, Steel, Urshifu could be really scary too, because it's just now he's really hard to deal with. Now he just doesn't have a quad weakness, so yeah, he's gonna be really crazy. Regieleki, if you did like Terra Ice, even just with Terra Blast, Terra Ice, you just have really, really strong electric type attacks and then really, really strong ice type attacks, and there's just like perfect coverage there pretty much. So that's really, really scary. I want to get into some sets. Let's talk about some sets. I'm not going to talk about restricted Pokemon. I'm not going to talk about restricteds. I'm only going to talk about Pokemon I think have a chance of being good. I won't go into the Paradox forms just because it's going to be too annoying to set. But let me just pull up my spreadsheet real quick. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. I'll remind you guys. I kind of showed up the stats on the last video I did about these leaks, and these are all the same. But I guess is like Iron Valiant here. Iron Valiant is here, so we can see moves here. I want to see if this thing gets Play Rough, gets Spirit Break. Okay, so you have Physical, Fairy Stab. Can you get Play Rough? Or do you get Aura Sphere? Aura Sphere, okay, so this thing's gonna be really good. Okay, so Iron Valiant set is gonna be, I think you're gonna run this thing specially, so you just ignore Intimidate. And you're gonna run, you've got Quick Guard and Wide Guard for support. You're gonna run like Aura Sphere. I don't really have a way, can I? I guess, can I? Let me see. Oh yeah, so the new abilities have been revealed. So Cork Drive is so there's a boost energy item which enhances, from what I can tell, from what I heard, enhances your strongest stat. I can even like go down here and look through that. And if you're in electric terrain, for the future forms, the Scarlet, or sorry, the Violet, Iron Paradox forms, they have their best stat enhanced if they are using the booster energy or with electric terrain up. That's what it is. Yeah, I was trying to think. Oh, I don't want to show that. I probably should be showing this. This is scary. Let me just like, I don't want my video to get even copyrighted. I shouldn't show this anymore. Whoops. Let's just close that. So the moves get boosted. Cork Drive, the most prominent stat, which you can change with your EVs. The most prominent stat gets enhanced. I guess it's like a +1 if you are using a booster effect or booster energy, or if you're in electric terrain, if you are a future Paradox. So Iron Valiant, this is like your Tyranitar, the Violet exclusive ones. Photosynthesis is the Scarlet exclusive ones. This is same thing, instead of in the electric terrain, in Sun. So Torkoal was already going to be really good. It's going to be even better now. And electric terrain makes Pincurchin pretty solid. I don't know if there's any prankster Pokemon that get like electric terrain or something. So electric terrain is just Pincurchin, or electric surge, I guess, is the ability. Yeah, electric surge. It's just Pincurchin. This thing's gonna be useful. And Drought. There's no Ninetales, so it's gonna be Torkoal and then eventually Groudon. When Groudon, dude, restricted formats of Groudon. Oh my god, they're gonna be crazy. I don't like it. I'm not ready. So electric terrain. Is there anything with Prankster that would get this? I don't think so, but you can still like electric terrain Regieleki. That could still be like, if you don't want to run Pincurchin, just so you can boost your teammate. Or like the Rotoms could. I don't see anything with Prankster. So there's not like Prankster, electric terrain, because there is like Prankster Pokemon that can set up Sunny Day. Like, let me just look up Prankster. Like, I know Sableye can. And Sunny Day. You've got Klefki's in the game, Sableye's in the game, Riolu's in the game. So you don't even have to run Torkoal. You're probably just gonna run Torkoal, but you could just Prankster set Sunny Day for your Paradox form up here and boost them. So electric terrain Sun is gonna be really strong. because of these forms. Because a lot of these forms are really good. Let's talk about the ones I think are good. Starters, whatever. Both legendaries are good. I think the forms that are good, I think both Dawnfang forms have potential to be good. This Photosynthesis one, Ground Fighting and Sun, boosting its attack, could be really strong. Or boosting its defense too, making... Nah, you probably just boost your attack, which is really high. And then the Electric Terrain Ground Steel type is... This one's okay. I don't think it's that amazing. Iron Bundle Delibird and Hail makes this thing really bulky and it's really fast and hits hard, so I think it could be pretty good. If you have like Hail, or not Hail, sorry, Snowstorm and Electric Terrain, this thing could be good. Maybe Amoonguss in the Sun could be okay. I think one of the best ones is going to be Iron Valiant. It's really fast, hits really hard, attack and special attack. So I think you make this thing a special attacker. It's not that much of a power difference, and it's just you ignore Intimidate and you just have like Moonblast and Aura Sphere and stuff, which I think is going to be really good. Unless he's got like Sacred Sword. But I don't see Play Rough, so I don't think you have good physical Fairy Stab. Here on Iron Valiant, it would be like... You still have Shadow Snake, that's awesome. You have Spirit Break, but that's not that strong. Yeah, I think this thing's going to be a better special attacker. Physical attack can work, though. Could definitely work. You can learn Liquidation. Why? What? What the? Oh, okay. Oh, this is going to be a good Pokemon. This is going to be a good Pokemon. So yeah, I think Iron Valiant's going to be really strong. Even without the ability, but like in Electric Terrain, it's going to hit really hard. Fairy Fighting is crazy good typing. Ghost Fairy is really good typing. This Mischievous is really good Pokemon. It's super fast. Super physically. It's a crazy physical Pokemon. Or special. It's a crazy special Pokemon. Pair it with an Intimidator. And put it like in the Sun. Just slap it on Sun teams. You have a Ghost Fairy type that's just somehow working really well in the Sun. I think this seems to be really, really strong. Hariyama. Ooh, this is another one. Iron Hands. I want to know what physical electric type moves you get. Thunder Punch is already going to hit really hard. You have Fake Out, Close Combat. I want to know if he gets like Plasma Fist. You get Wild Charge. That's cool. So in Close Combat, Wild Charge. So this thing Electric Terrain is going to do a lot of damage. I don't see anything like Plasma Fist, which would be ridiculous. So this thing, yeah. You get Play Rough, that's funny. You have Volt Switch, that's actually kind of cool. But yeah, you probably just run Wild Charge. Yeah, you probably just run Wild Charge. You could Belly Drum it if you insist. You probably just run like Fake Out, Wild Charge, Close Combat, and something, and you Assault Vest it, is what I assume you would do. I'm not sure what you Play Rough is good coverage. Stomping Tantrum is good coverage. You could do a Terra Blast move. You could do Terra Steel and run like Iron Head or Bullet Punch. You still get Bullet Punch. You still get Bullet Punch. It doesn't show egg moves, does it? So there's still potential of Bullet Punch here. Rock Slide. So there's good stuff here. So you can Terra Steel that thing. I'll go over that sets with Hariyama. So I think this thing's gonna be really good. So Iron Valiant, really good. Flutter Mane, really good. Iron Hands, really good. I thought Magneton was going to be okay, but because I thought there was going to be less ground types, but now I don't think it's like a good electric ground type in Sun. That's pretty cool. Could make it like extra fast in Sun. Hydreigon, I don't really think so. I think regular Hydreigon's better. Iron Thorns Tyranitar, I don't think so. I think regular Tyranitar is better. Roaring Moon Salamence is just a crazy good Sun Pokemon, so this thing's going to be really good. And I think Slitherwing Volcarona sucks because of the speed stat, but I like Iron Moth Volcarona, put this thing in Electric Terrain, and it's just like a really crazy Volcarona that gets a boost. It's just a Volcarona that hits harder kind of thing. So a couple of them are really good. Let me just go down that hill. I think the ones that are really good, I'll separate them. I'll put them in front. Flutter Mane could be really good. I think the Gardevoir forms, the Iron Valiant, really good. Iron Hands, really good. Salamence form's probably going to be pretty solid. And the Volcarona form's probably going to be pretty solid. That's what I think. We don't know about these alternate forms. I'm not going to talk about these at all. If anything, Terra Dark, Fiery Wrath, Berserk, Moltres could be really strong. I could see Zapdos being pretty good. That's it. I don't know about I don't really care about the rest of these guys. I guess like it Raichu, sure, could be okay. Whatever. All right, let's start building some sets. It's been 25-minute rants. Let's start building some sets. So these two are gonna be really good. These two are gonna be like really good early game as people want to play with. You're gonna see one of these two on every single team at the beginning because people are gonna want to play with the Paradox forms. And so you might see both because they're both really good in Trick Room too, which is really funny. So you could see both of these on a team with like Hariyama to help you set up. Let's just build a theoretical team. So you've got Hariyama. This is the Paradox form. I'm gonna call it Para. Para Hariyama. You have your other ability, but you got Fake Out, Wild Charge, Close Combat, and like Iron Head, and you turn into a Steel type is how I would run this thing. And then you AV this. You're Soul Vested. Could be really good. And Sun, you maybe want to run Lilligant is a really good chlorophyll Pokemon. Probably run Hisuian Lilligant. It's two fighting types, but like whatever. You've got Pincurchin and other. This one turns into a Steel type. Like this one beats Sun or beats Flying type. So, and maybe you run like Sash or you Victory Dance. Let's say you run Victory Dance. How about it? Let's just call it Quiver Dance. Just imagine this is physical Quiver Dance. Victory Dance is physical Quiver Dance. You run Drain Punch, Leaf Blade, and I guess just Protect. This could also be after you. This could be Sleep Powder. Oh, you have Electric Terrain up on your team, so you probably don't want to Sleep Powder. You could run after you just for like boosted, fast Torkoal eruptions and stuff. Let's say this is a Figgy Berry, and you turn this thing into a fighting type. So you don't have the grass weakness. You can do fighting or grass, and so you're only fighting. You can actually take a flying type hit and not die. And you build it bulky because you're already so fast and you're getting your speed boosted. So you just go pretty bulky like that. Could be pretty solid. This thing would be crazy. You could even Life Orbit. Just Life Orbit, sure. Then you want, let's say you want Salamence. Right? You want a Sun boosted Pokemon. Another Sun Pokemon. So yeah, you have Salamence, who's also good in the Sun. This is the Para Salamence. And you run, it's a physical attacker, so you run Dragon Dance, Dragon Claw, Crunch, and I was gonna say you could do like Terra. You could turn it into a Steel type and be like Terra Steel. Could be pretty solid. It's not Intimidate. Let's just say Moxie. That's more like what the other move is. Hell, you turn into a Fire type. I mean, you only have Fire Fang, but you get maybe Tailwind. Let's just throw Tailwind on there, and you turn it to a Dragon type, and you're a crazy strong dragon in the Sun. With you have Life Orb. You have, what was I saying? Figgy Berry, sure. Cold Berry, sure. So you got this, and then you have, let's see, you need a Trick Room setter. Who's a really good Trick Room setter in this? Let's take a look here. Who's a really good Trick Room setter? Hatterene is good. You could do Faragariff, who blocks priority moves. That's a good one. Cresselia's in the game. You could do Cresselia. Is there a Paradox Pokemon that might want to set Trick Room? Not really. Not really, no. Okay. Yeah, Cresselia could be a really good one. Just a really consistent Trick Room setter, and you've got Hariyama Fake Out to help you get up your Trick Room. A Ranguru could be good. There's some good Trick Room Pokemon. Let's just throw Cresselia, because everyone knows and loves Cresselia. And it's a Levitate switch, and that's pretty cool. You just Citrus this. Trick Room, Helping Hand, Ice Beam, Recover. Or Moonlight, I guess. Something like this. There you go. Here's a really good Sun team. Here's a really good double Paradox team. You got your future Paradox. You got your past Paradox. I'll do Para S and Para V to separate that. So here's a really good team. And this thing you just run like You run Rising Voltage because you're in electric terrain. It doesn't get Scald anymore, so you don't have that for you. You don't like Nuzzle or anything. I don't know what else you run. You just electric terrain. You just electric terrain, Rising Voltage, and that's it. You guess Recover, Protect. You don't have ground types on your team, so you don't do anything. You would electric this thing, I guess. And you can just reset your electric terrain, I guess, is the whole benefit to you, so sure. And you run a Wiki Berry. And you do this. And you lower your speed, so you're as slow as possible. And you counter Amoonguss because of electric terrain. So like this thing's really good right here. Do you have like Taunt? You don't have Taunt. Oh well, this thing's good. Torkoal, you run like Charcoal, or you Specs this thing, and you either Terra Fire or you Terra Grass. You have Drought. You run Eruption. Clearly, if you get Trick Room up and this thing is just unstoppable in Eruption pretty much. You run Eruption, Earth Power is fine. You can run like Overheat or another Fire Stab, and then like Solar Beam or Terra Grass if you want to terraform this thing, or terrestrialize this thing into grass. Be solid, you just run like this. And min your speed, and the only thing that outspeeds you in Trick Room is Pincurchin, who can't really hit you that hard because you have Sun up. So like, so yeah, you can't really. Poor Pincurchin. It could be like a really good counter, but it just doesn't. Rain Dance. That could actually be funny. You could just set Rain to counter. Pincurchin could actually just be like a really crazy counter. You just set Rain to counter the Torkoal because you're slower than it in Trick Room, so you Rain first. That's funny. So yeah, here's a mock set. Here's a mock set that's gonna be really good. Boom! I just gave you your day one team. You're welcome, everybody. Here's your day one team. You don't even have to run like Lilligant here. Like this is, well, it's like the only Chlorophyll Pokemon, right? Is there another Chlorophyll Pokemon? Or is it really just Lilligant? Tropius. I love Tropius, but no. Yeah, it's just Lilligant. But Lilligant's gonna be so good. Hisuian Lilligant's gonna be so crazy good. Both forms. You don't even have to run Hisuian Lilligant. You can run normal Lilligant. Yeah, that thing's gonna be really crazy and Sun. Ursaluna's gonna be really good. Sneasler. Oh god, okay. Let's build some sets. Sure. So you can maybe, hopefully, probably not live Urshifu. So you can maybe live Urshifu. There you go. Alright, let's build some sets. Pokemon I think are gonna be good. Let's start from the beginning. Charizard. So this is a Dragon type Charizard. You could change your Terra type, but I honestly think that Dragon Charizard is the best you would do. And Sun is gonna be a thing. So I think you run Solar Power. Charizard's a good Sun Pokemon. Turn it into a Dragon type so you don't have to worry about the electric weakness, and you're also just not weak to Rock anymore, which is good. You have a good speed tier, all things considered, and you run like Heat Wave, Dragon Pulse because you have your Dragon Stab, which hits really hard. You could run Hurricane to be like okay in Rain in case that ever comes up because you're a Dragon type in Rain, or you could run Air Slash is okay. Solar Beam's a decent option. Scorching Sands is a good option too. Hit the electric types back. Let's just say something like this, and then you protect. You could even like Choice Scarf this thing and just click Heat Wave, or yeah, maybe something like this. Maybe do something like this. And I would Choice Scarf and put Hurricane on just in case Sun ever comes up. You Scarf Solar Power this thing, and you just click Heat Wave reluctantly. And you have Dragon Pulse for other good stats. You turn yourself into a Dragon type. This is going to be a good Pokemon. You could also turn into a ground type to counter the Lecky that comes in on you, but Dragon also does that, so I think Dragon just gives it like a decent matchup in case Rain comes in and takes over. You can like stay in and be fine and like fire off, you know, Hurricane or Dragon Pulse and stuff. So he's gonna be really good. Raichu is always pretty decent. Terra doesn't matter, but you have a flying type Pikachu you're gonna get from the game anyway, so you might as well use it. This thing is good for like Fake Out and Nuzzle. I'm thinking of like Wolfie's set that he used, where he used like Fake Out, Nuzzle, Volt Switch is really good. Fake Out support, Nuzzle to paralyze things, and you're fast. Volt Switch for pivoting, and then you've got screens you can set. I think Wolfie did like a AV set, and it worked really well. So you do that with... You have Knockoff? That's funny. That could actually be pretty good. Knockoff could be good. Thunderbolt could be good. I'm not sure what else would be useful. Electroweb. Something like that. Maybe. This could be like okay. You know, like this is a pretty good Pokemon here. Pretty good support Pokemon here. That is not the set you would run. I would run like this. Something like that. So Raichu is always going to be pretty solid. And then the flying type, you just get rid of your ground weakness. That's the only reason why you would tear flying, but you probably never tear this thing, to be honest. Golduck is like one of the only Swift... There's a couple Swift Swim Pokemon. It's like Golduck. Who else is Swift Swim? Golduck. Floatzel. But Floatzel's not that good, so it's probably not going to be used. I guess, you know, this thing, Beartic could be okay in Swift Swim. Maybe Terra Water this thing. That's not bad. Dreadnought could have potential. This is like 4. Realistically, Golduck's probably the best Swift Swim Pokemon. Double Duck. That's what I wanted. So you can Swift Swim, Golduck. You could Terra Water. Or you even have like Psychic coverage. And you just like... Life Orb, Terra Water, Hydro Pump. Kind of back to like Gen 7 days when you would just Waterium Z. Could be pretty good. You've got Psychic or Psyshock. No Scald. Oh, I didn't take off Hydro Pump. You Hydro Pump, Psychic. You don't have Scald, so I guess you Ice Beam and Protect. Or you could Specs this thing and Flip Turn. You could do like this. You could Terra Psychic and be a Swift Swim Psychic Pokemon. You probably just Terra Water and just like click Water. Click a Hydro Pump, or does this thing get Muddy Water? It does get Muddy Water, so you could do that if you insisted. Flip Turn could just be like good pivoting stuff. And you just do something like this. You honestly probably have to go Timid to outspeed Alecki in Rain. You probably have to go Timid to outspeed Alecki in Rain. Let's see here. 277. What is... That's 300. So yeah, you have to be at least 277, 137. That is not fast enough. you have to be timid, but you can like pull some of this away. You have to be like 140. You have to be 138 speed. No, 139. You have to be 139 speed in the Rain to outspeed. So you do like this. This works. There you go. So yeah, this is gonna be like a fine Swift Swim Pokemon. Because Rain is gonna be... Rain is in the game, so it's gonna be there. Without Incineroar, Arcanine becomes good, as Intimidate, Snarl, Will-O-Wisp is really solid, just like damage negation. You've got Flare Blitz for damage. You can run Flamethrower. He has a special attack stat, so you might as well run like Flamethrower. And then Teleport for slow switches, or for switches could be okay. Maybe you just run Morning Sun to heal and just be annoying for longer, or Roar maybe to scare off things that are setting up. Protect. This is probably a standard set. Probably something like this. You're gonna see like a fast, pretty special defensive with a little bit of special attack. Let's say something like this is just a random set I'm putting together, but like something like this. You put a Citrus Berry on it. This is gonna be a pretty good damage negation Pokemon. You could even turn it into a Dark type to make it just immune to like Prankster stuff and make it a little bit more hard to deal with. And your Snarl is a little bit more irritating, and you just like create an Incineroar. This is the Incineroar you have at home. I don't know if Hisuian Arcanine is gonna be that good. It's better offensive, so we know its hidden ability is actually Reckless, so you could like and it gets Head Smash. So you could I think it's Head Smash, right? Oh, Arcanine's in the first one. Let's fact check myself here. Growlithe, Arcanine, 1. Here we go. You still have E-Speed. Raging Fury is in the game, but you use Flare Blitz because you're reckless. Yeah, you see, Rockhead right here. So Rockhead. Head Smash. That'd be really cool. I don't see Head Smash. So that sucks. You still get Wild Charge. So maybe not Head Smash. Unless it's like right here and I just didn't see it. Let me just... No Head Smash on Arcanine. But still like Flare Blitz, like Reckless. This is Reckless. Rockhead, sorry. Rockhead, Flare Blitz, Wild Charge is solid. You can turn this thing into Electric type. So you can now just turn the tide on water with your stab Wild Charge that you're not taking a recoil from. And then you still have good coverage in like close combat. You got E-Speed, you get Play Rough. You probably just want to Rock Slide because you're Scarf Rock Slide could be good. Like this thing could be good. I can see this being pretty okay as like offensive Arcanine. You know, you'd run something like this. Offensive Arcanine. You could even put it in the sand to give it some good bulk. You have the quad weaknesses to worry about, but then you like Terra. You could even like Terra Rock Slide with Intimidate and still Intimidate. So this thing could be okay. I'll just call it Rock. I'm not gonna try to build together set. But like this, yeah, Hisuian Arcanine could be okay, but for like damage Arcanine, which is okay. Slowbro was good until we saw the other Trick Room setters. So I don't think it's that great. Cloyster in Snowstorm could be really bulky. Here we go. Cloyster with Skill Link, King's Rock in Snowstorm, making this thing actually really bulky with like Icicle Sphere. You get Rock Blast, you get Pin Missile, which is fun, and then Shell Smash is solid. Maybe get rid of Pin Missile, I guess, for Protect. Turn this thing into Mono Ice. Put it in the Hail. It's really bulky. It's really scary. So that's what you do with it. Or you could even turn it into a Rock type and put it in the. You could even like have the switch around. Like you start with Hail, or you think you're gonna turn it into Hail. You turn it into a Rock type and you have it in the sand, and now it's bulky. So this thing could be pretty good. I guess I'll put /Rock. I don't have like high hopes for it, but it's solid. Gengar is scary offensively. Has a lot of different coverage. There's a lot you could do with it. If it had Levitate still, it'd be really good Electric type, but maybe you just do something like Life Orb. Shadow Ball is hard to switch in on. Sludge Bomb, kill fairies. Maybe you just turn the tide on. You turn the tide on the dark types and you Dazzling Gleam. This could be good. There's even like some support sets. Like there's a lot you can do with Gengar. Its moveset is really, it has a lot of different coverage, so like I think this is gonna be a pretty good like offensive Terra Pokemon that can just like turn the tides on something. And so like you think you're fighting a ghost type, like Urshifu comes in on your Gengar and then you turn to a fairy type and you clap the Urshifu. That could be pretty solid. Not the best ghost type. I think like this Paradox and Mischievous is gonna be better at that, but we'll see. Gyarados. You guys have already heard the Gyarados sets. Intimidate. You go Grass is my vote, but Ground is also solid. You run Power Whip and Waterfall, and then Dragon Dance Protect. Or this is Terra Ground or Earthquake instead of Power Whip. And you can run like Life Orb. And run something like this. I mean, I'm not going to specs this. Like this, you turn grass types, so you're not weak to Regieleki, and you're just Dragon Dancing, and you're the best grass type ever. This is going to be really good. Gyarados is going to be really solid. It's always a good Pokemon. Eevee forms. Let's talk about Sylveon, first off. So all the Eevee forms got Calm Mind. Let's actually, I want to check this. Just as Eevee. Can Eevee get Calm Mind? Can Eevee learn Calm Mind? Yep. Eevee gets Calm Mind. So every Eevee form can use Calm Mind. Which means Sylveon can now run like Calm Mind Hyper Voice with Throat Spray, and you just like Calm Mind once, and then you Hyper Voice and you're +2. You'd probably honestly Wiki Berry or something instead. And you've got like Mystical Fire still for coverage and Protect. I think you could turn this thing into a Fire type to scare away the Steel types. And this is a really strong Pokemon. Yeah, this is a really strong Pokemon. Fairy types turning into like ground or fire is super strong, just because of the crazy coverage they got. You've also got like Espeon who can Magic Bounce. Let's say Life Orb. Let's say this Espeon with Calm Mind, Psychic, and it gets like Dazzling Gleam, so you could turn into a Fairy type to scare the Dark types and just be really strong offensively. Or you also have Expanding Force, so this could be really good next to like Indeedee. You turn Fairy, either turn Psychic or Fairy. Oh, I put Cast Lock on, that's why. You turn mono, you go Terra Psychic and Expanding Force and kill everything, or you go Fairy and have really strong Stab Dazzling Gleam. This thing could be really solid because it's really fast, it's really hard. I mean, you kind of do the same thing with like Alakazam, who's not in the game, so there you go. Yeah, that could be pretty good. Let's see, who's next? Vaporeon with Calm Mind is pretty cool. You're a Water Absorb, Calm Mind Pokemon. You don't have Scald, which sucks, but you have Ice Beam. And you can turn yourself, I thought of a cool, actually I had a really cool set. You could turn this thing into like a weather Pokemon with Water Absorb. Like you could either go in Sun and turn yourself into a Fire type with Water Absorb, or in Sand and you turn yourself into a Rock type with Water Absorb. And you have Calm Mind, Weather Ball, and you still have Ice Beam coverage. And let's say you go, let's just say you go Wiki Berry. That could be really cool, because the Weather Ball is going to give you the stab that you turn in, and you tear it into wherever the weather is. So Rock/Fire. You can even run Terra Blast instead of Weather Ball. Weather Ball is just stronger, but like that could be pretty cool. I think it could be a pretty cool Pokemon, because this thing's really bulky with Calm Mind. Yeah, I think that could be really cool. Water Absorb, like be like a gimmick. Let's talk about Jolteon. Jolteon with Volt Absorb. You could turn yourself into a Water or Flying type and have Volt Absorb and have the coverage with that. You have Calm Mind. So you got Thunderbolt or Rising Voltage, actually. Let's run Rising Voltage. You can have like Shadow Ball for coverage, or you could just Terra Blast. Let's call it Terrain Pulse. Let's call Terra Blast Terrain Pulse. And you turn into a Water type. And so you've got Rising Voltage to snipe a bunch of things. And you turn into a Water type to kill the ground type that comes in on you. And you have Volt Absorb, so you're a Water type only, weak to Grass, which is really cool. And you're a Life Orb. Just put your Life Orb. Like, this could be a really good set. And you have Calm Mind. Like, the reason I'm saying all these Pokemon is because they have Calm Mind, so they can set up and be scary. And hit really hard. So all of these Eevee forms are solid. Umbreon with Calm Mind is probably not threatening enough, but Umbreon is still just a good Pokemon, honestly, with like Snarl, Foul Play, Taunt. It's really bulky. Moonlight. Something like this is really bulky, maybe like Leftovers. And good damage negation. Maybe you turn into like a Fairy type, so you're harder to get rid of. Something like that, like Fairy just gets rid of a lot of your weaknesses and a really good type. Cover a lot of your weaknesses. Who else is it? Glaceon. Glaceon and Snow. I was originally going to turn this thing into, so you run Ice Body and Snowstorm. Let's still assume you run Blizzard. Ice Beam, Freeze Dry, and I was gonna say you turn Water. You could turn into a Water type and have Terra Water and just be really bulky. But now that you're Ice, now that Snowstorm gives the benefit to the buff to Ice types, maybe you just run something like this. Let's actually just let's ignore Blizzard. This could be a really good set with Wiki Berry. Or Never Melt Ice, actually. Because if you freeze dry the water types that resist you, and you just like click Ice Beam on a bunch of things, this could also be Blizzard. This could still be Blizzard. This could be a really scary Pokemon. This could be a really strong Pokemon because it's super bulky. You're Calm Minding up. Maybe even spec for like a bulkier set than this. But this could be really strong. Right here. This is a perfect Calm Mind Pokemon. You're already really specially defensive or physically defensive. You could even do like you can like fully commit and like get more special or more physical defense on. Ooh, you could even Electric Seed this thing. I just thought about Jolteon. You could Electric Seed. I think there's a lot you could do with the EVs. There's a lot you could do with these EVs. Nothing really with like Flareon, Leafeon. They don't get Calm Mind, so they're not going to be that good. I guess Leafeon's a Chlorophyll Pokemon, but it's just worse than Lilligant in every single way, and Flareon's not that great. Zapdos is a really good Pokemon. Zapdos is probably something you don't Terra. I'm gonna be honest. Unless you want to go Terra Electric with Rising Voltage. And just get rid of your rock weakness or something. You got Heat Wave, you got Volt Switch, and Roost. You just do something like this, and you Life Orb or you Protect. This is just a good attacker. Zapdos is always a good Pokemon. You can Assault Vest this thing. This could be Rising Voltage or Thunderbolt. You know, this is always a good Pokemon. This is always a good Pokemon. You could even like Terra Fire if you insist, but like you're probably just doing this. You offer Tailwind. Forgot about that. Let's do something like this. This is gonna be pretty good. Moltres in the sun. Probably not. No, I would say no to like Moltres. Is Articuno good? Does Snowstorm help Articuno at all? Not really. It's just worse than Glaceon, honestly. Dragonite is a solid water type, I think. You can run Choice Band, or you can just run like Life Orb or something. You got Dragon Dance, Aqua Jet. Turn this thing into a water type. Get rid of your quad weakness to Ice, and you still can run like Dragon Claw. Still solid stab. Dual Wing Beat's fine too. Something like this could be a pretty good set. You could even Choice Band this thing if you wanted to. And just, because doesn't it get A-Speed too? Yeah, you could just Choice Band this thing and Dragon Claw. I kind of like this. You're just an unfake-outable, really strong priority attacker. It's a lot of bulk. Turn into a water type, you have really strong Aqua Jets. Or, what's your other move? I don't know. You got Aqua Tail. There you go. Turn into a really strong water type, could be pretty solid. Or you go like a Dragon Dance set. That could be pretty good. Hisuian Typhlosion, I think, is solid. I'm going through all these guys. I think Hisuian Typhlosion is just better than normal Typhlosion. And this is the other Pokemon you run if you want to Eruption. You Eruption this thing. I can't assume it doesn't get Eruption. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't get Eruption. Eruption, there we go. Normal one does. Yep. That one does too. So, Eruption, Heat Wave, Shadow Ball, because it's probably better than... What's his other move? Not Bitter Malice, it's, Inferno, right? No, not Inferno, it's... Infernal Parade, which, like, can burn, and it's like Hex. I think you just go Shadow Ball. You just do this. And then you have, like, Choice Scarf, Will-O-Wisp. You Scarf this thing, and you just go as fast as possible. And maybe in the sun, you just do a crap ton of damage. And you're better because you're Ghost type, you have Ghost Stab, and you're just immune to Fake Out. But you could also just Terra Fire this thing. That thing could be really strong, explosive, like, start of the round Pokemon. Azumarill is always a good Pokemon. Belly Drum Azumarill is always good. And then now its damage output on like Aqua Jet is just enhanced. So this is your typical stat. You just go Terra Water, get rid of your fairy weaknesses, which, you know, whatever. Maybe you run a bulkier set than this. I don't know what the set. I'm just doing 2-5-2 spreads, but like this is a really strong set, you know. Max attack, you belly drum, your aqua jets are just clapping everything. You're clapping everything. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Azumaro's always good. So who else here is gonna be good? Eevee like Quillfish, whatever. Caesar, that's another one. This is another really good Pokemon. Metal Coat, you Terra Steel. I'm not a huge fan of terastallizing into a type you already are, unless you're a dual type, because you could just get rid of like this. That was weird. You can now like you're gonna be on a rain team. Like the way I would build this is I'd put it on a rain team, and you Terra Steel, and now you can actually take fire type attacks, because you're just a steel type. You're not quad weak to it anymore. And then you probably run like X Scissor or U-turn, or you can even run like Terra. You can even just switch your Terra type and be something else. You can offer Tailwind. That's kind of cool. Now you probably just run like an X Scissor. Like this is probably what you run as Caesar. You can even go Terra Fighting. Just to slap, just to like throw things. Like he's got some interesting coverage. You have some options to terastallize into, but this is what you're probably gonna do. Just a really strong. You Swords Dance up. Your bullet punches are really hard to tank. Now, especially that you have adaptability on your Technician bullet punches. This is gonna be really strong. Kind of like the same thing as Azumarill. Let's see who's next. Heracross, probably not that good. Pelipper is gonna be used because it's rain. Pelipper is the only Drizzle Pokemon in the game until Kyogre comes out. Until they're non-restricted with Kyogre. I think you would run Pelipper like you don't have Scald anymore, which really hurts its viability, I think. Or I guess it doesn't hurt it that bad. This is probably what I would run. And if you're gonna tear anything, you tear flying so your hurricanes do as much damage as possible. Not that. Not that set at all. So you offer Drizzle, you offer Tailwind, you can U-turn out, and if you need to, you just Hurricane. This is what I would do with my Pelipper. Let's see, Breloom. Breloom's kind of another like Azumarill, and it's just another one of these guys. Actually, you could even just Life Orb this, and you Mach Punch, Bullet Seed, Spore, and I guess you Sash it and Protect. This is a usual set for Breloom. You get a Spore off, but you could also even just ignore Spore and fully commit to your Terrifying Mach Punch, and kind of just like Caesar, just offer this with Mach Punch and you like Swords Dance. That could be solid. You can even get rid of Bullet Seed for Protect. You can even do something like that. Just give up on the grass typing. Like this could be pretty solid as like a Terrifying Breloom. 130 Swords Dance Mach Punch. You're actually doing, yeah, you're just straight up Caesar. You're just straight up Caesar at that point. I think it could be pretty good. Sableye's a prankster Pokemon. I could see Sableye being like, you kind of have to sash this thing because this thing's just so weak. But with like Fake Out, Sunny Day, Taunt, and like Quash, that could be solid if you don't want to run Torkoal, if you want to get Sun back up for Torkoal. Otherwise, you can switch Sunny Day for something else. Will-O-Wisp. This is probably what you're running. This is like a solid Pokemon, I guess. Solid prankster Pokemon. I don't even know what you tear at this thing. Maybe just Ghost to get rid of the Fairy weakness. I don't know. I don't know what you would Terra. Just ignore the Terra. Literally nothing. You don't Terra this Pokemon ever. Medicham has some potential because it has Fake Out, but probably not much. It's strong. It has... I mean, it also has, like, Mach Punch, right? It doesn't have Mach Punch. It has Bullet Punch, though. So you can turn this into a Steel type and be, like, supportive Fake Out, and then you turn it into a Steel type and have really strong Bullet Punches flying off. And you're Steel, so you're actually kind of bulky now because of your typing. Oh, not that. And then you run, I don't know, like high jump kick. For good stab and then protect. Or you can even AV this thing. Maybe just gonna keep repeating. I'm not gonna switch the music. You guys just gonna have to get used to it. And I don't know, Ice Punch could be solid. Like this could be like an okay set here on Metacham if you want to use it. We already talked about Torkoal. I'm not gonna talk. Yeah, I've already talked about Torkoal, so I'm not gonna put them back on. Or maybe I should. I guess it's the last Pokemon here, so let's put Torkoal. Let's start Torkoal. This is just gonna. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep building these sets. So maybe something like Spec. Like this is a set I've been thinking about. Obviously Eruption. I would do Overheat. Just check Spec's Overheat. Solar Beam. Not so wrong. Solar Beam or Terra Grass here. Let's call it Terrain Pulse. Actually, I'm just gonna say this. This is what I would do. I would have Terrain Pull, Terra Blast. This is Terra Blast. Or I have Solar Beam. So if I'm in Sun, if Rain comes out, I can be a Torkoal that turns into a Grass type, and now Rain has to deal with me, and I'm firing off Stab Grass types to them against them. Maybe I'm actually Assault Vest. Maybe that's what I wanted. Something like this. Yeah, this is the set I was going for. So you have Eruption. This is the only Fire type move you're gonna click. I turn to a Grass type to either Sponge an Eruption hit or Sponge a hit, so I'm at higher HP, and fire off stronger Eruptions because I'm not resisting the Ground type attack coming my way, for example. Or I can also Terra Grass to like turn the tide on Water types, for example. Water types are like a Rain. I still have Solar Beam. I could even switch Solar Beam out for like Overheat. Earth Power is just nice coverage here. And just be like bulky and difficult to deal with. That's the Torkoal set I would go with. I should go SV sets 1. Let's do another box. Sets 2. So we left off at Torkoal. Who's next here? I don't think anything here is gonna be good. Oh, love this. Let's go. I thought Staraptor was going to be good until I saw the new Pokemon come out, or until I saw the full Pokedex, and we see things like Landorus, which is going to be a better Intimidator. Where's Landorus? Landorus, Therian. There you are. This is going to be a better Intimidator. Corviknight. Well, I already knew about Corviknight. I guess that's kind of it. There's Regieleki is just so scary for any flying type to ever deal with, but it still can be solid. I still have a set in mind for this thing, which is, I think, just Sash. I think I was running Sash. Or I was running Light. You have Intimidate. So your Intimidator with Tailwind, relatively fast Tailwind. You've got U-turn for good pivoting. You learn Close Combat, which is awesome, and I think you Terra Fighting to just have really strong close combats. And yeah, and you still probably learn like Brave Bird. Maybe it was like Figgy Berry. I can't remember what item I was gonna run on here. Maybe like a Figgy Berry because I'm intimidating, so I could be pretty bulky. After all, I mean, you could also go Reckless and like Terra Normal Double Edge, but boo. Yeah, this is the set I was going for. Even like Roost. No, I think this was the set. So Brave Bird. So I come out and I intimidate. I can set up a Tailwind. And after I Tailwind, I can then U-turn out, pivot into something else, or I can Terra Fight in close combat, blow something up real quick, Brave Bird out, and then after I've gotten my defense drop, I just U-turn and just like keep pivoting out, and I just pivot. I'm just a pivoting Intimidator. Kind of like the Incineroar is so good because it's a pivoting Intimidator, and so I kind of just replicate that with this Staraptor set. Oh, my jacket come off. Whatever, I was gonna wear my jacket. Yeah, I like this Staraptor set. I think something like this could be really solid. I want to give it a shot. I think it could be pretty okay. I thought Luxray could be maybe an okay Intimidator until I saw like Landorus and stuff. So I don't think so. But the set, I guess I'll show the set I was gonna try with the more limited Pokedex was gonna be something like Intimidates, Assault Vest. I turn it into a Dark type to make it more difficult to deal with. You have Volt Switch for pivoting, Snarl. So your Intimidate Snarl just like Arcanine. And then you also have like Wild Charge and Throat Chop for some solid stab. And you just do like this. You have like slow volt switches. So I'll do a minus speed. And since I'm minus speed, I might as well raise my special attack. You know, like this could be like a decent dark type. That's pivoting intimidates and like slow pivots because of the slow volt switches. Snarling to negate damage with intimidate more. You're not like crazy bulky, but you're not like super squishy. And then you still have like good damage output with throat chop and something like wild charge. Could be solid. Yeah, I thought this could be like an okay Pokemon, but probably not. I just thought it was something to work, something to try. Floatzel is a Swift Swim Pokemon. This is a really fast Swift Swim Pokemon. You don't even have to do anything. Let me come back. I don't think you have to do anything with your speed to outspeed Regieleki. You have to do that with your speed to outspeed Regieleki, so you can put the rest into Adamant. 50, what am I doing? So you could do like, and then put a little bit into bulky. You're not bulky. You're not living anything. Let's be honest. But still, let's say Life Orb. Aqua Jet hits really hard. Flip Turn is solid for pivoting. Fast pivots. Wait, do you not get Flip Turn? That sucks. Aqua Tail. Or Liquidation. Or Waterfall. I like Waterfall for the flinch, so I'll do Waterfall. Ice Punch. And yeah, this is not the best Pokemon ever. Your fast taunts, I guess. Maybe like Terra. No, I would Terra Water this thing. If I'm in rain, I Terra Water this thing. Maybe I White Herb. After all, this is how I would use it if I wanted to use this as my Swift Swim Pokemon. Yeah, White Herb, Aqua Jet, Waterfall, Ice Punch. It's all right. You could bulk up, but you're not gonna bulk up. That's not happening. Yeah, this is a Swift Swim Pokemon. I don't think it's a very good one though. Honestly, Gastrodon I don't think it's that good anymore. Because every water type that if you're a water type that just doesn't want to deal with Gastrodon, you just now Terra Grass and you can just deal with it. So you have to deal with the Terra Grass. So I think maybe you turn something like Poison. Because you have Sludge Bomb. Or Steel could be good. Try to keep your Storm Drain and still resist the. This is gonna be like a huge mind game thing. So you like Ice Beam, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb. Or I guess you have Ice Beam. So if they turn Grass type, you already have Ice Beam. Recover. And like Yawn, I guess still. Like you still run like this kind of set. Where you're primarily just bulky. And shut down the water types and be anti-rain and stuff. And you just have to Terra to respond to their. It's just like double mind game stuff. So I don't think Gastrodon is as good anymore, but it's still Gastrodon. Miss Magius, I have a cool set for this thing because the Levitate Pokemon, and I think a Levitate electric types can always just be good. Run a Assault Vest on it to make it because it's pretty bulky. Put it with an Intimidate Pokemon, and then you just run Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball. Dazzling Gleam for coverage. Power Jump for coverage. There we go. Or I could just, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't do that. Maybe I would do this set after all. And I'll do Will-O-Wisp on it for some fast burns and protect. Maybe even Pain Split. But I like this kind of set. I think this could be pretty good. As like, you turn into a Pokemon with no weaknesses. You Will-O-Wisp things, and so you're pretty bulky overall because these stats are pretty good. And yeah, you're just like a levitating electric type. You're just a Pokemon with no weaknesses. I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, it's not to be the best, but I like the idea of it. I want to try it. Bronzong's in the game. It's going to be a very good Trick Room Pokemon. If you run something like a Mental Herb, Trick Room. You have Expanding Force if you want it. You probably just run like Gyro Ball. What else does this thing run? Heavy Slam's not bad either. Could put screens up. Be like Trick Room and screens. Yeah, Bulldoze in case you want to set your own weakness policy off. Ally Switch. Hypnosis is funny. Here's a set. Yeah, this thing's still good. I don't know what you Terra this thing to be. Maybe you do like Terra Fire to not be weak to fire. Or just Steel. Actually, you probably just go Steel, if we're being honest. To get rid of your psychic weaknesses. To get rid of the dark weakness. And it would just help you set up Trick Room. So that's why that's why I think you'd probably do something like that. This Pokemon, there we go. See who is next on the list. Spiritomb, nothing. Garchomp is a solid Terra Pokemon I've been talking about kind of at the beginning. I think you could do something with like, you could turn it into water because you have Aqua Tail. Water could be solid. You still have Dragon Claw, you still have Earthquake. And it's even bulky enough that you could just Assault Vest this thing and make it a really scary attacker. So water means you're no longer weak to, you resist ice, you're also resisting the fairy type attacks coming your way. You could also go Steel actually, might be a little bit better because you have Iron Head. So yeah, you could go Steel type and you're strong, bulky, hard to get rid of, ground type. What am I doing? Yeah, I think this set could be good. Water could also be good. You could do fire. I think it's good. I think something like this. Like, Assault Vest just adds to your bulk. Because you're bulky. You are very bulky. So you put a Assault Vest on, you turn into a Steel type or a Water type, and you're just hard to get rid of. You still have Stab Earthquake, Stab Dragon Claw, Stab Iron Head, or Aqua Tail, Rock Slide. I could check moves to see what else you get. Like if there's anything else you get that's really cool. Like, do you still get Aqua Tail, right? I don't see why that would take that away. You get Liquidation, even better. Even better, yeah, you get Liquidation. There you go. So yeah, I think it could be really. I think that could be like a really good solid set. As like a, you're already ground type, so you don't have to worry about electric types anyway. So you could just turn into water type, Steel or water. Either one works. I'd probably go with water. Personally. Just so I can like beat other Garchomps. Either one's good. Lucario, there's like a cheeky Lucario Justified set. You Justify and you go like Terra Normal with like Life Orb. And you Extreme Speed. You get to +6 because of beat up. Or +4, +6, whatever, because beat up, and you like Extreme Speed, you have Drain Punch to heal yourself back. You have Bullet Punch. I just thought this set could be pretty okay. Like, Lucario is always an okay attacker. Do something like that. You can even run like bulky. You can even run a Soul Vest on it and make it bulky. You could even go, you could go Steel to make your Bullet Punches hit harder. Something like this could be funny. Give it adaptability with Justified. You could do it with Arcanine too, but I just kind of wanted to highlight that. I don't know if Hippowdon is going to be that good because of all the other ground types we have, but in case you wanted to run Sand and Nap Tyranitar, like you wanted to run the Paradox form of Tyranitar, Hippowdon's the only other Sand Pokemon you got to work with, so you could do something like, I mean, it's kind of just a good support Pokemon. Too. You could turn it into, I thought you could turn it into a Steel type and have like Heavy Slam, deal some good damage there. You've got Yawn and like Slack Off, and just be a hard to get rid of Sand Setter. You turn yourself Rock type. I don't know why we'd turn yourself Rock type, and you're just like really good in Trick Room. Like this could just be like a good, difficult Pokemon to get rid of. Kind of set I was thinking about. Let's see. Abomasnow with Snow Warning. Now that Snow turns yourself, this is another kind of Glaceon thing because Snow turns yourself, or Snow increases your bulk. You have Snow Warning, Aurora Veil, so you're gonna be really, really bulky. Let's just assume that you get the accuracy increase for Blizzard. Otherwise, this is Ice Beam. Or even, you could even just run like a physical set if you wanted to. But something like this. Aurora Veil, Blizzard, Giga Drain for healing back, Protect. And like a Wiki Berry or something. Or no, you run Light Clay. Not Light Ball, Clay. This could be really good for like this is gonna be your hail setter. This is how you're gonna use hail. I actually read a Choice Scarf of Obama Snow once before and I liked it. But don't do that. Don't actually do that. Yeah, there's no like Vanillux. So there's no other Pokemon that has Snow Warning here. It's just Obama Snow. They only have one weather setter for each. Except for Sand has two. I lied. So yeah, you just turn Ice. You just get rid of your quad weaknesses. You still have Stab, Giga Drain, and now you're just like your Blizzards are hitting really hard. Could be a good Pokemon. If you ever want to run Hail, Weavile. Kind of another one. Like it could be in Hail. It could be actually be semi-bulky. Maybe you run like Life Orb or Sash. This is always the good Pokemon. This is always good Pokemon with Fake Out, Ice Shard, or even just like Triple Axle. Knockoff. And I thought you could turn it into a Ghost type to make this thing even more difficult to get rid of. Another Soul Vest. I like a Soul Vest. And you have like Shadow Claw for your Ghost type stab. Like I thought this could be okay. You're now immune to other Fake Outs, so you're guaranteed getting your Fake. I mean, you're the fastest Fake Out anyways, but like it just means the fighting types can't deal with you. Otherwise, you can just turn yourself into an Ice type and be bulky in Hail. Have like the bulk in Hail and just be really hard to deal with, and you could even like Swords Dance or something and have like triple axles and stuff do a lot of damage. So Weavile is always a good Pokemon. All the Rotom forms, I'm just gonna clarify with just Rotom. Yeah, with just Rotom, this is an electric type. You just go electric. You turn into mono electric with all of the forms, and you run stuff like Volt Switch, Rising Voltage could be okay, or even just like Thunderbolt. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, whatever move, whatever like stab that they get, and like Will-O-Wisp, and their stab. Let's just put. I don't know. Let's just leave that blank. But like this is the Rotom set you're gonna do. Your bulky electric type. And this is for any of the forms. Literally any of the forms you want to run. Your bulky mono-electric type with no weaknesses because of Levitate. And you've got, you know, Thunderbolt. You could Rising Voltage. I don't think Rising Voltage works if you're... Or just if electric terrain's up, right? You don't have to be grounded, do you? On the target, only if the target's grounded. Yeah, so you just like run like something like this. And you can Life Orb, you can Magnet, you can Citrus Berry for bulk, stuff like that. All the Rotom forms are going to be good. They're all going to be good. Wash is going to be the best. Mow, Heat, and Frost are also going to be solid. None of these forms are going to be that good. Heatran is going to be really useful early on because Torkoal is a huge deal. And you actually don't even have to use Sugar Berry anymore. You can just now not be weak. So you still have Flash Fire into Torkoal attacks. You run something like... I think you would go Ground. I think you would go Ground to really just double down on the fact that you're going to beat other fire types. So you have stuff like Heat Wave, Earth Power, maybe something like Overheat. Don't care about Flash Cannon and Protect. And then you can Life Orb this thing now, because if a ground type comes in, you just tear it to ground and you're not weak to it. Or you could go Grass. You could like Terra Grass too, and run Terra Blast. But going Terra Grass, I mean you're a Grass type immune. You're immune to fire, so you go Grass. Yeah, you just go Grass. Actually, I mean Ground's still good, but you honestly just go Grass, and this just becomes. Let's just use Terrain Pulse as Terra Blast, and this is or Energy Ball. You don't get Energy Ball, I guess. Solar Beam. It's not Solar Beam, but that's what you do. Yeah, you turn to a Grass type, and you just ground types that come in. You're smacking them now. It's a super solid set. This is like the set usually I've been seeing mostly. Every time there's a Heatran, it's like that. Yeah, this could be really good Pokemon. Heatran's always really good, and the influx of Torkoal we're gonna see because of Sun viability and everything, Heatran's gonna be super useful. Cresselia, is going to turn into something that isn't weak to dark, because Urshifu is just going to kill it. So I think you're going to go Moonblast. This is a Trick Room Pokemon. You have Helping Hand, which is really useful. And like Icy Wind. This is a really good set. Citrus Berry. Turn yourself into a fairy type and you just tell the Urshifu to go away. And you're really good speed control. You're really good speed control with Icy Wind and Trick Room. This is a really good Pokemon. Cresselia is always good. Always good. You have Levitate, so like you could turn into something. You could even, if you wanted to go offensive with this thing, you could, because of its coverage. It doesn't get Thunder Wave or anything. You can kind of go offensive with like Calm Mind, Levitate. Just turn yourself into something that doesn't like electric type with Terra Blast or something. But this is probably what you're gonna do with it. Let's see, who's next? Samurott has a new ability called Slasher. Or Slashing? Where is it? Samurott 1. Sharpness. This increases the damage of all. It's like Tough Claws and what is it? Fang? What ability, or Strong Jaw? It's like strong. It's like that. It's like those. They boost the power of slashing moves. And you see such edges in the game. Before, I don't know if Splintering from Legends Arceus is going to be in the new game. I'd like it to be. I think that'd be super cool. And this thing could be okay. This thing could actually be okay. So Shell Armor is Sharpness, and so you just run the slashing moves, which is, let's just use Night Slash for now, which is, you know, Ceaseless Edge or Night Slash. You run Razor Shell, which works here. And then you have, like, Air Slash works. You have Aqua Jet for some priority. Put it there. Maybe you Assault Vest this thing. I think you Assault Vest this thing, or you could Scarf it. You've got, like, okay bulk. So I would say you Assault Vest it. Or you could Swords Dance. X Scissor is going to get boosted. Sacred Sword. That's a slashing move. This is perfect. This is a perfect moveset right here. You got Ceaseless Edge, Razor Shell, Aqua Jet, Sacred Sword. You could turn into any of these types, really. Just for more damage. You can even go Fighting. Just for more damage. Like any of these moves. There's a lot of coverage here. I think this is a pretty solid Pokemon, honestly. You kind of just go all in on the bulk. I would say do something like that. I think this Pokemon could be alright. Probably not like amazing, but it could be alright. So there's two Lilligant forms. Both are going to be amazing. So I think the first example would be like the really fast Chlorophyll Pokemon. You don't have to put any speed into them. Never mind, you do have to put speed into them to be faster than Regieleki. Because Regieleki's in the game. You have to do this. Now I'm faster than Regieleki. Actually, I wonder if I can just go Modest. You can. Okay, so you can definitely go. So you can do this. And you're faster than Regieleki. You're Modest, and you could do something like Leaf Storm, Sleep Powder, after you Protect. Low HP doesn't really matter that much. And this is just like, I'm going to help the Torkoal. I'm going to after you in the sun, be faster than Regieleki, and let the Torkoal eruption everything really fast. This is one set. I don't know what you Terra into for this. You honestly just Terra Grass, I guess, for really strong Leaf Storms. Or this Leaf Storm could be like Energy Ball, or Solar Beam, or Petal Dance. Not really Petal Dance. Yeah. It's kind of just Leaf Storm. You kind of just Terra Grass, Leaf Storm, try to kill the Lecky, I guess. Something like that. Or you could go like Terra Ground. You're faster than the Lecky, so you might as well. Actually, let's do this. Let's call it Terrain Pulse. And I say you go Ground to snipe out the Lecky, because the Lecky's going to be a huge part of the metagame. So this is what you do. You're faster than the Lecky. You maybe don't even Focus Sash. Can you like Life Orb or something? and you terrain pulse. You smack the Lucky. You kill the Lucky, and then you have after you to let the Torkoal go first. Or I think the better form of Lilligant is the Hisuian form, because Victory Dance is in the game. We don't know what exactly it does, because in Legends Arceus it's really weird, but it's in the game. Victory Dance is in the game. I'm just gonna assume it's physical chlorophyll, or physical quiver dance. Sorry, so I'll just put quiver dance. This is Victory Dance, and then you run. This is the kind of set I was showing you guys earlier. Drain Punch, Leaf Blade, Protect, and you just go all in like a Cobra Berry. Ignore the flying types that hit you hard, or you could go Life Orb. Honestly, you're already so fast. So this Lilligant is faster. So you're already. I don't think you're already faster than Lucky. No, you still have to give a little bit. You have to go like that. But you can go really high investment into your bulk. You can even like, you can go all in investment into your bulk. I think you run this. You can even drop, you don't even have to run Victory Dance. You can run Close Combat, Leaf Blade, Sleep Powder, or you can still run after you here. But like, Victory Dance is just gonna be so good. You could even White Herb to ignore Intimidate, or Adrenaline Orb to ignore Intimidate. Something like that could be good. I think White Herb's pretty good. Actually, yeah, this is probably what I'd do. This is probably the set I would do, and then I'd add Adamant this thing. Something like that. Or you could even go crazy with EVs and just boom. Now I can invest a ton into my HP. If you want to. Nah, that's not worth it. You just max out on your damage output, you'd be a really scary Pokemon in the sun. Really good. I think you would go Fighting. I think you just go Terra Fighting. Because your Drain Punch just hits really hard and you just keep healing back. This again, this doesn't even have to be Drain Punch. This could be Close Combat too. I just like the idea of Drain Punch. Crocodile. It's probably not going to be good. But you have Close Combat, you have Crunch, Earthquake. I think the only way this thing can be used is like a bulky, annoying. Do you have Throat Chop, actually? Yeah, instead of Crunch, you're going to run Throat Chop to stop anything from like Boom Bursting or Hyper Voice or stuff like that. You need to stop Snarls on your team. This is what you do. You have Aqua Tail, so you can like go Water. I think you just turn into a type that's like difficult to deal with. Like you could go Fighting and be like a supportive Fighting type, or you could just go Dark and get rid of your weaknesses, or you can go Water with Aqua Tail, or you could go Dragon because you got like Dragon Claw. Like there's options. I'll just call it variety, actually. I don't think this Pokemon is going to be amazing, but there's potential. There's still potential there. So, I'll talk about it, you know? I don't think normal Zoroark is going to be good, but Hisuian Zoroark is immune to Fake Out. And has... I think you're just on Sash on this thing. I don't think you just try to kill one thing. And you like Nasty Plot. You can pose as another Ghost type and be immune to Ghost. And you're on like Shadow Ball. You could kill fairies with Sludge Bomb. You could run Flamethrower here. There is, I think you go. I don't even think you would Terrasilize this thing. I think you just stay. But if you wanted to, I would say Fire / Poison, just to scare something. Like you disguise yourself as a Dark type into a Fighting type or something, and you get, or like Psychic, I guess could be okay. You nasty. So you disguise yourself as a Dark type. So the Fighting type that tries to hit you is you're immune to. Or you disguise yourself as a Ghost type, so the Ghost type attack that comes after you. Like you could disguise yourself as like a Gengar who has the same moveset or something. And you know, they think they're attacking your Gengar, so they're gonna Shadow Ball you against another Ghost. It's immune, you get your Nasty Plot off, and then they might realize then, but it's already so late that you're just gonna kill something. Like something's gonna die, and that's what this World Arc does. And that's like all it does. That's all this thing's supposed to do. But it could be good. It could be good because you're immune to fake out too. So they can't like check or anything, and you just get a free nasty plot off. So I think it could be okay. With like, if you're trying to check a ghost type, you already have Shadow Ball. Dark Pulse could work too. Sludge Bomb, Flamethrower. You even have like Hyper Voice if you just want to stay normal for whatever reason. Yeah, Sludge Bomb here. Or you could even just Terra Ghost. I think the typing is so good that I wouldn't Terra type. I just wouldn't. Honestly. I think there's some potential there. Gothitelle. Gothitelle with Shadow Tag is good. This thing is always good with Fake Out. Especially with like really strong Terra Pokemon. You can get yourself into a really good spot because of everything. You have Helping Hand. You have Helping Hand. And like Trick Room. And you stay alive. This is what you do. You Citrus Berry. You stay alive. You turn into a Dark type. So your foul plays hit more damage and you get rid of your weaknesses. And this is what you do. This is what you do. You stay alive and you can just like really shut things down. Yeah, this is a really good Pokemon. This is a really good support Pokemon. Turning into Dark changes everything. And they now have to. I mean, you don't terrestrialize because I think the whole point of having Gothitelle is you trap something in that has to take the Trick Room Torkoal Eruption or something like that. But you can go Dark type to get the advantage there. Another Swift Swim Pokemon is Beartic. I'm just gonna keep going, guys. Like I'm just gonna keep going. Use Swift Swim. I mean, you could Slush Rush. If Hail is good, okay. I guess there's two. If Snowstorm is good, you can keep this thing as an Ice type, and it's a Slush Rush, or you turn it into a Swift Swim Water type. You have Aqua Jet. You have not Icicle. You don't have Ice Shard. But you have Icicle Crash, and you have Liquidation. And honestly, just choice ban this thing. Let's be real. You click your Water or your Ice Stab. That's what you do. You click your Water or you click your Ice Stab. And then you can have, like, I don't know, Play Rough. Sure, Play Rough. Encore. Something along those lines. Let's just say Play Rough. Just for random coverage. And you have to make this thing fast. Let's see, Speed Tier. You might have to actually timid this thing. I mean, you're outspeeding Dragapult here. I don't think you actually will ever. You'll never outspeed a Lecky. So you just do like this. This outspeeds Dragapult. No, it doesn't. This right here outspeeds Dragapult. There you go. There you go. Your choice banded, Swift Swim, you outspeed Dragapult. You also have like Aqua Jet there. Yeah, so you either Slush Rush in Snowstorm and you're the Ice Sweeper with Water Stab, or with Water type coverage, or you go Swift Swim and you're the Water type. You know, either one. You're one of the weathers, and I think this Pokemon will be solid. I think just because it's like, what else are you gonna do? Cryogonal is, I think, good. I actually don't even think you hail this. Like, you don't put this thing in snow. I'm just gonna call it snow. You don't put this thing in snow. You turn this thing into electric type. You don't have Thunderbolts, but you already have ice coverage. So you do something like this, like any water ground type, like a Gastrodon, I guess, gets hit by Freeze Dry. And then you Terrain Pulse Electric, and this is just electric type with Levitate that has no weaknesses and especially bulky. Put it with an Intimidator and like Will-O-Wisp, put it like next to an Arcanine, so your physical defense doesn't just get destroyed. And this could be a good Pokemon. Are you like Wiki Berry? This could be solid. Yeah, maybe Iron Defense, and you're just like, I don't want to die. Yeah, you Iron Defense, and you say, I don't want to die. There you go. He's a pretty cool Pokemon. Throw Recover on here. I think it's just like, There you go. It's electric type now. Could be okay. It's another like a levitating electric type Pokemon. Braviary Defiant, probably not that good. This Braviary though with Sheer Force could be pretty solid. Because you have Sheer Force, Psychic. Esper Wing, we don't know exactly what it's gonna do. It's gonna have to change like what the move does. But you're pretty much just like a Sheer Force Air Slash, or you have Tailwind, I guess. So your Sheer Force, like Air Slash, Psychic, you can Roost up and just be like a really scary threat. A really high damage dealing, somewhat supportive Pokemon. It's like Life Orb. There you go. Here's a really good Pokemon. Does it learn Trick Room actually? Let's come here to Braviary. Roughly we got Braviary 1. Trick Room. It's a Psychic type, so like I can see it, you know? I could definitely see it. Turn, it gets Tailwind. I don't see Trick Room here. Let me just... Meloetta. Yeah, not Braviary. So it doesn't have Trick Room, but you also have like Calm Mind too to set up with. I think you just do like this, and then you go like Terra, Psychic, and have really strong Sheer Force Psychics coming out, or even Heat Wave. Ooh, Fire / Psychic. Really strong Sheer Force Heat Waves. Could be pretty cool. Could be pretty good. If you're in rain, you can Hurricane this Pokemon. 2. That's potential. I'll call it. Flying could be good here too. Yeah, this thing's got some potential for sure. Definitely has some potential for sure. Hydreigon. There's a couple sets I've heard about that you could do like Dark, but I think the set I would go with is Steel, Assault Vest, and you already have Flash Cannon, so you've already got good stab. You are firing off Stab, Draco, Meteor, Dark Pulse. Not a lot of things switch into you, and then you just have like Heat Wave or Flamethrower to hit more things, and you're just like a bulky Pokemon that's hard to deal with, and it's just doing a lot of damage. Or maybe you U-turn here, actually. That's what I would do. I would actually U-turn. And maybe I'd even reduce... Yeah, go something like this. This is just a really high damage Pokemon that's hard to deal with because you're Steel type with Levitate, so you have to go like Ground. Or you have to go like Fighting to beat this thing. Fighting types, and you could like build around a Fighting type to beat it, so... That's the second box. Wow, I'm going through it. Alright, let's go down here. There's still more to go. Don't worry, guys. There's always more content. Right? SV... Or sets, I guess. So now we're on the Genies. And... So Tornadus first. Prankster, Tailwind. This is what you're running. This is what you do with this Pokemon. Is you Tailwind, you Hurricane, maybe you Taunt. Protect. This could be Rain Dance too. If you wanted to reset Rain Dance, you could. I think you, and then you Terra Flying this thing for stronger Hurricanes. Really, this is going to be like really good next to Kyogre and stuff. But still. With like Pelipper, and just in rain. Even without rain, just on its own, like we could switch out Hurricane for Air Slash. And it's just Prankster Tailwind. That's what this thing is. It's a Prankster Tailwind. It's Prankster Tailwind. You need... Prankster Tailwind's always good. So it's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be good. You could even turn this thing into a Dark type, actually. To be immune to other Prankster Taunt. Drac. Yes, that's what I wanted. Yeah, you could totally go Dark type to be immune to other Prankster Taunts, and you've got Dark Pulse. For some good stab. You could even Nasty Plot. You Prankster Tailwind. Yeah. Prankster Tailwind, you turn into a Dark type to be immune to the other Prankster Pokemon try to taunt you. There we go. Thundurus. Another really good Sorry, I'm like getting sniffly because it's cold in my house. I don't want to stop recording and go put a a jacket on. This is a Pokemon. This is a Pokemon that exists. So I guess is a good annoying Pokemon. You've got U-Turn, Electro Whip. Now you just like you taunt Thunder Wave, Volt Switch, or Thunderbolt is hard to get rid of, and you go kind of bulky, something like this. This is always a good Pokemon, and you can turn into a Dark type to not be taunted. Hey, there you go. That's kind of what you do. Yeah, it's just another good support Pokemon. Landorus. There's two forms of Landorus that are going to be really solid. The Sheer Force, Life Orb Landorus, like Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Psychic, and Protect, I guess. You don't have to. Terra Blast isn't going to really benefit from this. You could Calm Mind if you really wanted to try. But you can turn yourself into Psychic, you can turn yourself into Poison, you can turn yourself into Ground. I'm just going to call this Variety again. And this is just a really good offensive Pokemon. With Sheer Force, Life Orb, and Terastallizing into something to give yourself more damage. This is really good. Otherwise, Landorus, Therian, with White Herb, and Earthquake, Rock Slide. Turn yourself to Terra Ground. You can turn yourself into U-Turn, and you can run Terra Blast and turn yourself into a type that's hard to get rid of. What are you weak to as Landorus? Ground Flying, you're only weak to Water Ice. So why not turn yourself into a Water type? And not have to deal with that, and you have Terra Water. And so you're U-turning, you're bulky, and this actually I would run a Soul Vest, probably. And this is just such a good Pokemon. This thing is so good, and I think Terra Water. I really think Terra Water. You could just go Ground too. Maybe Live. Maybe just lose the Quad Wing just to Ice. And be a Soul Vested and Live. But I think Water just makes this thing so much more difficult to deal with, you know? You can even go Electric to try to snipe them out. I think you just go something to... I think you do a defensive Terastallization on this thing. Give yourself more coverage. Be really difficult to deal with. And just have really, be really difficult to deal with Pokemon. Let's see, who's next after the Genies? After the Genies. Okay, I'm putting a jacket on. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm not even editing this out. Just like, let me put a jacket on. I'm just gonna let you guys think about what's happening. Because I'm freezing inside my own house. I am like like you guys can see me shivering too. You guys can definitely see me just like trembling. It's hilarious. Alright, who was next? We just did the Genies. Or the Genies. I was actually going to do like a tier list of all these Pokemon too, but I decided not to do that. They really nerfed Protean, that's another thing. Protean only happens... You only change type the first time that you do it. Like you can only change your type once. So Protean's not that good. I don't know if Battle Bond's in. Let's find out actually. Does Greninja have Battle Bond? Battle Bond Greninja is a thing. So I don't know. Did we ever really have Battle Bond Greninja in VGC? Ash Greninja, I guess, technically. I don't know. You just like Water Shuriken. I mean, this Pokemon's crazy. This Pokemon's crazy good. So you just like Terra Water. Yeah, you just like Terra Water. Hell, you can even just Specs this thing. You Terra Water, you Shuriken, I don't know, Sash maybe, and you just like do a ton of damage. Water Shuriken, Dark Pulse. Ice Beam, Protect. This is the, here you go. Or Map Block, right? Isn't Map Block good? Mad Block could be solid. Put it next to your Urshifu. Like, this is a good Pokemon. It's in the game. I know it can't be shiny, but I just want to see it shiny. This is a really good Pokemon. This thing's just crazy good. Yeah, this thing will be good. You just turn water, and you let your water shuriken just go crazy. Alright, doesn't it hits 2 to 5 times? Or maybe, ooh, you actually use the new item. What is that new item called? Oh, what is that new item called? It was released. Oh, let me get the. That's what you do with this thing. You use that new item. That it like increases the chances of the multi-hits moves hitting more. Gameplay. News, is it? Like new items. Features. Oh, what is that new item called? What is that thing called? This is like a perfect Pokemon for that to actually be useful on. Oh, what is it called? Why? News, SV, item. It's a news. Loaded dice. Loaded dice. It's not in here. Is there like a dice or something? Loaded dice. I'm just gonna type in loaded dice. And that's just gonna work. That's just gonna work. If I switch out, does it hold it? Yeah. So loaded dice, your water shuriken hits multiple times. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be a good Pokemon. I don't think I like Delphox, but I don't think it's gonna be that good. I don't think Talonflame is gonna be good because the genies are here. Clawitzer is one I want to try. I want to try to make it work as like a supportive kind of Pokemon. So Mega Launcher increases the power of any pulse. They have a lot of different moves. Dragon Pulse and Heal Pulse are 2 moves that boosts. I was gonna run Scald on it, but then we now learn that Scald doesn't get boosted. So Pulse moves. I want to look up Mega Launcher actually real quick and what moves it affects. Just these. Aura Sphere, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Heal Pulse, Origin Pulse, Terrain Pulse, and Water Pulse. Okay, so I would pull this thing out, turn into a Dragon type immediately. I'm kind of thinking of, I mean, maybe I still just Water Pulse. Aura Sphere, maybe Aura Sphere to hit the Dragon, Aura Sphere to hit the Steel types. That's what I do. And I just run, like, I have Heal Pulse, so I can put it next to something else that's, like, good and scary. What's happening here? This is a set I wanted to try to make work. I think it could work out if it's Dragon type and has just better stab. I would just ignore the water altogether. Just literally ignore water altogether. There you go. And make it shiny, because why not? Hey, it's probably not going to be that good. I just want to try it out. Halucha could be solid because it gets Sky Attack, right? Gets Sky Attack and it gets Unburdened. I think it's not like bulky, so I don't know if it's gonna work out super well. But like this Terra Flying damage output, everything here is just you Power Herb, you Terra Flying, you Power Herb, Sky Attack, and just smack something really, really hard. And then you Acrobatics. This is much better in singles, but it's still like, I think it can still be used. It can still be like, yeah, it can still be used. Maybe you just take Tailwind. Honestly, maybe just like fast Tailwind, flying moves, and then you just go out with a bang. Honestly, that's probably what you do. That's probably what you do. You just like go out with a bang. You just get like crazy speed. Use Tailwind, you get crazy speed boost from it, and then you go crazy with acrobatics and close combat until you die. Could be alright. It's just like funny. Goodra. I think the new Goodra, Hisuian Goodra specifically, has a chance. Let's come in here. Shelter is a move. It raises both defenses and also increases your evasion in Legends Arceus. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just probably going to be a Cosmic Power, if anything, which could be good. Would be good if this Pokemon had any kind of recovery, but I think Overcoat, you're immune to, like, Spore, Effect Spore, Powder moves, Rage Powder, stuff like that. So I think you just go in all out and attacking. Overcoat, you have Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon for stab, and then you like Ice Beam, you've got Flamethrower, and you just variety, whatever Terra type you need damage for, you just do that. And you have Soul Vest, you have Crazy Bulk, you can even Choice Specs this thing too, because he's just not gonna die. And you can go low speed to be useful in Trick Room. I think the Pokemon is just really hard to get rid of, so you just do a lot of damage. I mean, 110 special attack is good damage. You've got strong Draco Meteors. There's just good stuff here. You have Thunderbolt too. Maybe like this. Maybe do something like this. You got like this really good stab combo. And just, yeah, do a lot of damage. Klefki is a prankster Pokemon. It's pretty much worse than Grimmsnarl, but it still has stuff. You like Thunder Wave, you Light Screen, Reflect, and then you like Taunt, right? Or you don't have Taunt. Wow, that sucks. Maybe this thing's not that great. It's a prankster Pokemon. Crafty Shield could be funny, honestly. Crafty Shield actually could just kind of be funny. It's another Pokemon that has like Sunny Day or something. You could just like set Sun up or the Rain up. It could be decent. Yeah, I think it could be like okay. It's a prankster Pokemon. They're always good. There's always use for prankster Pokemon, no matter what. Let's see who's next. Avalug's never gonna be good. Noivern though, I think Noivern. Even in the ice boosting thing, Avalug's just not gonna be good. Sorry, I really don't think it's gonna be good. You Infiltrator, you Sash. This thing is fast Tailwind and then do damage. With Draco Meteor, you have Boom Burst, and you probably just Protect, or you U-turn. And you Terra Normal this thing, and you just like Terra Normal Boom Burst. You set up your Tailwind, you Terra Normal Boom Burst, and you do as much damage as you can before you drop. It could be solid. I think it could be alright. Let's see. Decidueye is not going to be good. I don't know if this thing is going to be good. I just always have faith in it. But I think like Tough Claws, Accelerock, Lycanroc with like Close Combat and Drill Run. I feel like there's just potential here, you know? Variety. I'll call it variety. Like this could just be like maybe Terrestrialization is the damage boost this thing has been waiting for. Maybe something like that. You know, you're fast. Accelerock is really good stab. You could just it's really good priority to hit Torkoal. Is kind of my main. I guess Rock/Fighting is kind of what I'm thinking about. Is you have really strong priority to hit Torkoal before it can Eruption. You go Tough Claws, Accelerock, Terra Rock, Adamant, 252 attack, maybe even go like Choice Band or something. I don't think so. I think you just go Scarf. You're too frail. But I think this could be like okay for like hitting, even without Terrestrializing, just hitting Torkoal hard. Just being like a priority way to hit Torkoal hard. Could be okay. Toxapex is not good in VGC. Mudsdale, as a fighting type, can have really crazy good Iron Defense Body Press set. You Body Press the Iron Defense, you have high horsepower for Ground Stab and Protect, and you just run like leftovers. And this thing's just really scary if you get a lot of defense going. Maybe you either run like a special defensive set, like this, and then menu speed. And you just like Terra fighting to make your body presses even harder. Or you could steal too. Could be like okay. I just thought this could be like an okay Pokemon. Something like this could be alright. Their Mudsdale. Lurantis is another fighting type one because you conjure a superpower. And you're also, since you're conjure, you revert Intimidate, which is cool. And like Electro Web too. You also get speed boost from Electro Web instead, so maybe just like, yeah, you just do that. Leaf Blade or Petal Blizzard, or just Leaf Blade, huh? You know, like Wood Hammer, do you? Seed Bomb. Yeah, you just like Leaf Blade. I think you would AV this thing. Knock off. You get like, you don't get like Drain Punch or anything, so you don't get like good healing. Maybe you just Synthesis. Swords. No, you don't want Swords Dance. Leech Life. There you go. There you go. That's cool. You're just gonna get defense boosts and stuff. Yeah, I think this could be like a cool Pokemon. Like you're just gonna get with like Regieleki constantly Electro Webbing. You just go Soul Fist, Superpower. Keep making yourself really bulky. You've got Leech Life for healing. Turn yourself into a fighting type. Get rid of your grass weaknesses. There you go. Sure, there's something. Could be all right. Serena's gonna be pretty good. I don't know what you're gonna turn into, but Queenly Majesty is just always a good ability. With like Power Whip, Triple Axle, Helping Hand, and like U-turn. This is what I think I've seen most off. I don't know what you turn into. Ice. Maybe you turn to a fighting type with like high jump kick. You could turn fighting maybe. It's just like a good Pokemon, so I don't know what you would do. I don't know what you turn into. But it's a good Pokemon. So yeah. Maybe you use the Soul Vest and get rid of Helping Hand for Triple Axle, and you just go like offensive. It's really good coverage. Something like that could be good. The Pokemon is just good. That's why I'm putting it here. Rangoru is a decent Trick Room setter with Inner Focus, so it can't be flinched. It's also immune to Ghost. And Instruct with the crazy strong Torkoal is like the whole reason this thing would be used. You also offer Taunt and Yawn. You also have like Expanding Force if you have like an Indeedee with you for some reason. And then you could just like, you don't really do enough damage. You could go Dark type or Grass to get rid of Spore or Prankster Taunt on you. Just like other ways that can shut you down. I guess he would just Mental Herb. So I would go Grass type to get, so you're immune to Spore now. Yeah, you're just immune to Spore now, so there you go. Even like Energy Ball. There you go. Something cool. You know, like he's just like a cool set. Just to shut down a Moongus that's trying to Spore you. You just turn into a Grass type, and now you Trick Room off. You have Mental Herb, you have Intimidate, or you're immune to Fake Out, you're immune to Taunt. You can't get taunted because you have Mental Herb, and you're immune to Spore. You just like kind of cover all your bases, or this could even be like Safety Goggles and Dark would be another example to do this. But then like a non-Prankster Taunt Pokemon could still taunt you, you know? I think something like this. Something like this is pretty cool. I don't think Passimian's that good. Mimikyu's another good Trick Room Pokemon. Disguise. Or just... You take damage, so you don't want to Focus Sash. I think you Mental Herb. So you can get your Trick Room off. And you go like Shadow Sneak. Swords Dance, and then like Play Rough, right? You could just like Terra Ghost, I guess. or Fairy. Either one works, really. Just for pure damage. And just something like that. You probably just do this for speed. Honestly. Something like that. Yeah, it's always a good Pokemon. And you could just Terrastallize for more damage. Rillaboom does not have Grassy Glide, which I'm so excited for. But this thing is still good. Because you still have Grassy Terrain, Grassy Surge, Weakened Ground types, Fake Out. You have high horsepower. You can slowly U-turn. You can knock off. You don't even have to be a grass type anymore. You could turn into something else. Just like, I'm just going to say variety here. I mean, Grassy Surge, like, increases the damage of your grass attacks. You can still run, like, Wood Hammer. Or Drum Beating could actually be okay here. Yeah, you don't have Grassy Glide now, so... Probably Wood Hammer. Probably something like this. Probably something like this. And this is a good Pokemon. Like, this is still a good Pokemon with, like, Fake Out support and everything. It's still, yeah. Still useful. I feel like knockoff. Something like this could be good. Good, solid Pokemon. But Grassy Glide, really, not having Grassy Glide anymore really hurts it, actually. I'm so glad they did that. I think it would still run Libero. Cinderace with, like, Sash. You can still just change your typing once real quick. And you just, like, you put this thing in the sun, you give it Pyro Ball. Honestly, maybe you just run Blaze. Like, this in the sun with Pyro Ball just hits really hard. Do you have Swords Dance? You don't have Swords Dance. You got Fast Taunt, Pyro Ball, Fast Taunt, Fast U-Turn. Bulk Up? Nah, not Bulk Up. Iron Head. Or something. You could still, like... No, you just Terrifier. I think you would just, like... I think the reason they change things is you change your type once, and then you're going to change your type again when you Terrastallize. And I think if you just change your type again, if you just kept changing your type, it would be weird. And it's also just a really strong ability. So I think you could still get away with running something like Terrifier, Pyro Ball. Maybe you turn into something else before you go Terrifier. Like Fighting. And just have, like, interesting openings. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking. You'd either go like a supportive set. Not really a supportive set. Swaps users' field effects with the opposing side. Court change? Wait, what? Swap users' field effects with the opposing side. What field effects would that be? Like light screen and stuff? Maybe? I don't know. That's kind of cool. Maybe you do something there. But yeah, I think it'd just be like a good attacker in Sun. Corviknight's another Pokemon who is always good. What does he run, like Figgy Berry? You run like Figgy Berry, you turn this thing into like a fighting type for your body presses. It's like Iron Defense, Body Press, Roost, and Tailwind. This thing is annoying. This thing is annoying to deal with, and it's always a pretty good Pokemon. So here it is again. It's just back. Dreadnought could be a solid Swift Swim Pokemon. I think I was just doing something like Choice Band. Choice Band, Swift Swim with... You either Terra Rock and have really strong head smashes when you're, Swift Swim boosted. Or I like Waterfall. So I'll pick a Waterfall. I guess Liquidation's probably the best, right? Liquidation, you've got high horsepower. You've got Rock Slide. Rock / ground / water. Any of them. You turn into a ground type to beat the electric types. And you're Swift Swim ground type, which is really strong. You still just be water. You can turn rock types, so your head smashes are just doing a crazy amount of damage. I thought Choice Band, you could also just Life Orb. The Earthquake, yeah. I think this Pokemon is potentially good just because there's not a lot of good Swift Swim Pokemon, and I think it's good. I think it's going to do pretty well with Terrastalization. I'm going to try it for sure. Colossal. doesn't have Scald anymore. And honestly, you could try to rock type it and weakness policy, but I think the better build for this thing and just the safer thing for this to do is you go Steam Engine, you turn into a water type, so you resist the water type attack. You get your speed boost, and you Meteor Beam. You power her Meteor Beam, get your special attack up. And then you have, like, Heat Wave, and then you just, like, instead of Scald, I'm going to leave Scald here for now, but this is Terra Water. And you Protect. You could do Grass, too. I think Water would just be better. You could do Dragon. Dragon could be good. Let's just do Water / Grass / Dragon. All of them are pretty good. You're running Terra Blast anyways, which we're just gonna call Terrain Pulse. And then you just do something like this, like there you go. You can still use Colossal. Colossal is still a usable Pokemon. Be pretty good. You get the boost if you get hit by fire type moves too, so you could like that's why I kinda like Water. Or even Dragon. I think Water or Dragon, because you can like really mess up Torkoal. This is like a good anti-Torkoal Pokemon. You can even run Earth Power if you wanted to. You wouldn't turn Ground. I think Water or Dragon. But it's still Colossal. Colossal's good. Does Barrascuda have Swift Swim actually? It does. Okay, ignore Buizel. This is the this is one of your better Swift Swim Pokemon. Even just Propeller Tail. But yeah, this thing with Swift Swim, Flip Turn, Liquidation, you just go Water. Honestly. Or you do have Drill Run too. That's pretty cool. This thing's got a lot actually. Wow. Forgot how many moves this thing has. There's a lot you could do. Fast Flip Turns. Fast Aqua. Honestly, you don't need Aqua Jet. Flip Turn, Liquidation, Drill Run. You got Close Combat. This thing is the best Swift Swim Pokemon. This is the Swift Swim Pokemon. There you go. Found it. I found it. There you go, guys. Here's the fish. Swift Swim Fish. There's just so much they can do. Ooh, yeah. This is a cool one, too. What's it called? What's your name? What is his name? Why can't I think of this thing's name? It's a poison and electric type. What is your name? Toxtricity. Toxtricity, Punk Rock. You scarf this thing. You turn it normal. And there's 2 moves that you click. First one, the most obvious one is Boom Burst, and then Overdrive is also coverage. You have Rising Voltage and Sludge Bomb. There you go. Here's your set. You want this thing to be... I guess it doesn't have to be faster than Regieleki necessarily. Oh, it will be. No, it's Scarf. That's what... No, right, it won't be. So you probably just, like, do this. You modest this thing. And, yeah, Punk Rock, Boom Burst, normal. This thing's going to hit really hard. This thing's going to hit really, really hard. You Scarf it. You do a bunch of damage. Hatterene is a really good Trick Room Pokemon. With, like, Magic Bounce... Does Magic Bounce doesn't... It stops Spore. I don't know if it stops Taunt. But, Hatterene and Didi. You turn yourself into a Psychic type. You Trick Room. Do you have Moonblast? No, you Dazzling Gleam. You have Mystical Fire, too, for coverage. Which you could maybe go Fire. Oh, Trick Room. Realistically... Protect. I think this is what you do. And you just go crazy. And like Hatterene and DD just goes crazy. The electric terrain or the psychic terrain and everything. Yeah, really, really strong. Let's go to the next box. Oops. There's still so much more Pokemon I need to talk about. Grimmsnarl's next. I don't know if you do anything with Grimmsnarl. I don't know if you terrestrialize anything. The only thing I can imagine would be like Ghost to make yourself immune to Fake Out. And you like Clay. I mean, you have Fake Out, but I don't know if you always use it. You Reflect, Light Screen, Thunder Wave. Do you still have Thunder Wave? I don't see why they wouldn't. Let's check Grimmsnarl. Let's just check his moves. There we go. Here's Grimmsnarl. Yeah, Spirit Break still. Yeah, Fake Out still. You have... Where is the screens? Taunts, Fake Tears. Oh, Reflect Live Stream. Thunder Wave. Yeah. So the Grimmsnarls do the exact same. And I guess like Spirit Break, right? Here you go. Here's a really good Pokemon. Here's a really good prankster Pokemon that we have been seeing forever. Still just as good. This is a cool one. Berserker. It's for the ER. Berserker. Steely Spirit is cool. Steely Spirit, I think Fake Out. This is one I would also Assault Vest. I think this set is pretty cool. So if you have anything that wants to go into a Steel type, and you put Steely Spirit next to it, you also first off you would turn yourself into a Steel type. So for your own damage output, you know, Steely Spirit Iron Heads and stuff. You have Fake Out, you have Iron Head, you have U-Turn as well, and then you also have like Close Combat for good damage. You don't have like the best damage output, so instead of Close Combat making you like Throat Chop, you could also go Taunt instead of going Assault Vest. You have Play Rough. You've got a lot of different options here for another move. Basically, I think Assault Vest is probably your best bet, unless you wanted to go Metal Coat. You could go Metal Coat. I think just like Close Combat, something like this. Like this is strong. You get Fake Out support, slow U-turns. This thing could work out and could be like a nice Trick-Room support, and then you turn yourself into a Steel type and have really strong Iron Heads. Yeah, really, really strong Iron Heads. And Close Combat kind of just smacks everything that resists you. It could be a pretty fun Pokemon. Pincurchin. Let's talk about him again. He's the Electric Surge Pokemon. Is there like a Terrain Extender? Sure. Terrain Extender? Probably not. Probably like, I think you just make this thing as bulky as you can. Rising Voltage, Recover. You have T-Wave. I don't know if you'd use it. I was going to say you could use Scald. Hydro Pump could be okay. Do you have Volt Switch? You don't have Volt Switch? Wow, that's surprising. An Electric Train. Honestly, this is what I'd say. This is the purpose of this Pokemon. I think I showed this set earlier too. And you just like, yeah. You could AV it. I think you just make this thing as bulky as possible. And you set Electric Train, and you still have Rising Voltage. Like, you're still doing good damage to things. Yeah, you make this thing as bulky as possible with Recover. You can reset Electric Terrain if you need to. You probably just switch in, switch out again, but still, you could run that, or you could run like Thunderbolt, or you could run Hydro Pump. There's a couple options. And if you wanted to, you could turn this thing electric. Just so your Rising Voltage just hit harder. Or you could turn yourself into a flying type or something. For defense, there's like some defensive stuff you could do there if you insisted. Let's see. Frostmoth I think Frostmoth could actually be pretty good. Because Icicle Scales is really crazy. You just receive half damage from special attack, and you turn yourself into a Steel type, so you're really bulky. You just be really bulky, and maybe Electric Seed, raise your defense up, or something, and then you Quiver Dance, Ice Beam, Giga Drain, Protect, and you're just now really bulky for some reason and hard to take care of and hard to get rid of. It could be pretty good. Yeah, I think it could be. I think it could be all right. You turn it into a Steel type purely just for defensive utility. Ice Cube, I don't really care about. Both in DD form. So in DD And DD Male, first off, Psychic Surge, you turn this thing into a Psychic, you Life Orb, and you Expanding Force. That's what you do. You Dazzling Gleam, you have Fake Out, it's funny. Mystical Fire, and Protect. You have Imprison. You have Imprison too. Which you might, I guess you might be imprisoning. You can do Imprison sets, you can do like Trick Room Imprison sets, Expanding Force. This is what you do. You have Dazzling Gleam to help you hit like Urshifu, in case you need to outspeed that thing. Mystical Fire, I guess this is probably what you do actually. You also Imprison Protect, which is really cool. And then, yeah, you just click Expanding Force when you Psychic. Maybe you would Sash this thing then. This is probably what I do with it. Something like that. And DD Female. You set Psychic Surge. Psychic Seed. You have Follow Me. Helping Hand. Expanding Force for damage. And Protect. And you honestly probably just go Psychic. You could also go Grass. This could be another time you go Grass to block Spore and stuff. And just make yourself a really good Amoonguss counter. Because let's be real, you're not the thing that you're not the Psychic type that's turning Psychic for Expanding Force damage. Hatterene would be. So that's what this thing would do. Yeah. Really good support Pokemon. Indeedee is really, really good. Copperage is actually super solid. It's another Sheer Force Life Orb Pokemon in Trick Room. So this is just the set you run. You do this and that. There you go. And you've got really strong Life Orb Sheer Boost Play Rough, Iron Head. You've got Rock Slide you can run with. You've got... Probably not running Heat Crash. Yeah, you probably got like Rock Slide. Power Whip is there. You could Steel Roller if you're really just going to commit to it. I'm just going to go with Rock Slide. And Protect. And then you turn yourself into a Fairy type. So you Steel, you're really hard to deal with. You just like have really good defensive typing core. That's also... really solid offensively, yeah. Just like Fairy and Steel together, and you have the Stab and you have Sheer Force. This thing just hits like a truck. Really, really solid. Copperaja, let's see. Dragapult is next. I don't know. I've been thinking about what to do with Dragapult. I think you Dragon Dance. You could probably just Dragon Dance, Dragon Darts, and then you turn yourself to Dragon. Dragon could be good. You can turn yourself into Steel. You probably run Terra Blast, I think. Something like this and Protect. Dragon Dance, Dragon Darts, you do a lot. It's hard to deal with that. Oh, because Terrain Pulse. I was like, why is it trying to boost that up? Something like this could be good with like Life Orb. Turn yourself to Steel type with just like Dragon to Steel type. The core is really good. There's just some like cores, like type cores that are really good to utilize as a Pokemon, like, you know, Dragon to Steel, like, you know, Hydreigon, Grimmsnarl, or no, Garchomp. Yeah, like Dragon Fairy Steel is a really good core, so if you can just do that by yourself with like, you know, Dragapult can do it, Copperaja can do it, like that's really good benefit from Terastallizing. I'm not going to talk about any of these guys. I already talked about Urshifu. I'm not going to talk about Regieleki again. Regidraco with Scarf, Dragon Energy, Draco Meteor, Dragon Pulse. You go this thing, Dragon. This is like a prime example of just purely offensive Terastallization. And you can also like Terrain Pulse or Terra Blast and turn into something else, like a Steel type. And just like scare away something. Yeah, you can totally turn into a Steel type. And you just do like this. So this is just like a Torkoal. Like you just turn Dragon for crazy damage output, or it's like Regieleki kind of thing. And both of these two just turn. So Glastrier in Trick Room is really good. It's going to be really bulky in Snow. There's a lot you can do here. I think you run Weakness Policy with... Is Icicle Crash, is it? Yeah. Icicle Crash, High Horsepower, Heavy Slam is good, Close Combat, Protect. There's a lot you can turn into here. You can turn... I'm just going to say variety. You either go Ice, you can go Ground, you can just make this thing a better type and just make it a defensive behemoth. Or you can stay Ice and be in Snow and just be really, really bulky. This thing it's really good. It's a really, really good Trick Room Pokemon because of its bulk. Its stats. This thing's so scary. You gotta make sure you're ready for this thing because it's gonna blow through your team. It's ridiculous. This thing's ridiculous. Why is it in the game? What is this? Calyrex form. What is this? Spectrier. That's what's called. Spectrier is a ghost type that just... You Nasty Plot. Shadow Ball. You don't have Dazzling Gleam, do you? That sucks. You don't really have coverage. I think you just sash this thing. And you just get KOs. You just try to get KOs. You just like turn your... Maybe you could go Dark. You can go Dark or Ghost, I think, just to... For defensiveness, like you can go Dark to beat other Ghost types, and if a Ghost type comes up to you, or a Dark type, you can resist it, you know. I think this is what you do. Sorry, I didn't speak very good English there. You Terra Ghost, you Nasty Plot up, Terra Ghost, you just try to get a bunch of kills, or you can defensively go Dark. I'd probably go Dark, this is what I'd run. And you just like click this coverage. And if you get walled out by a Dark, you get walled out by a Dark type, there's not much you can do. Maybe Fairy. You can go Fairy, and this could be Terrain Pulse. Or Terra Blast, sorry. Terra Blast instead. And, I'm not going to talk about Calyrex, so Weirdeer. We're almost done, guys. Weirdeer is Intimidate Pokemon. It has Trick Room. Stantler had Trick Room. Let me just come in here and prove to you. Where is it? Not Trick Room. Where's Trick Room? Trick Room right there. So Weirdeer, Intimidate Pokemon with Trick Room. It also gets Skill Swap if I'm not mistaken. Doesn't it get... I think you can get Skill Swap. First, you can also Imprison. So there's a lot of things you can do here. You can Imprison. You can Skill Swap. You have Psy Shield Dash, which is in the game, and it raises your defenses, or has a chance to raise your defenses, is what it says in Legends Arceus, so it's still here. I'm just going to say Psy Shock. As for Terastallization, this thing is variety. You have a lot of different coverage moves. You can maybe turn into a Grass type to be immune to... There's a lot to be immune to Amoonguss. There's a lot this thing can do. There's a lot that this thing can do, and I haven't even began. Like there's so much variety. There's literally so much variety to this thing. You have Trick Room, you have Intimidate, you have Trick Room, you have Imprison, Skill Swap. You can Skill Swap your Intimidate around, get a bunch of Intimidates off. You have a lot of coverage because Stantler has a lot of coverage. There's a lot you can do. I think you probably do this, and like that, and you use Trick Room, or you can just Imprison the Trick Room. There's a lot. This thing can do a lot. I'm not even going to begin to try to describe what's going to happen. Ursaluna is going to be one of the craziest Pokemon ever. You Flame Orb or you Assault Vest. You run Facade. Like I'm just gonna blow through this. This is what you do. Oh my god. Facade, Earthquake. You have High Horsepower. You have Headlong Rush. Which is Headlong Rush is just ground type close combat. You have Play Rough. And you can turn this thing into a Fairy type. Fairy / normal. You turn yourself into a normal type, and you have just ridiculous Facade damage output that nothing can stop. Or you turn yourself into a fairy type, and now you have stab play rough along, and you just have like stab fairy, stab ground, stab normal. There's nothing can handle. Nothing can handle. You put this thing in Trick Room. Nothing is gonna, like, this thing has just some of the craziest damage output ever. Because of Guts Facade and stuff, so that's what you do with that Pokemon. Wave Crash is in, so Basque Legion, I'm gonna assume, I'm just gonna do the male one, has adaptability. You Terra Water, or you Water. And Wave Crash is just a priority. It's priority Water type move, but it's stronger. So let's just go with, let's just say Aqua Jet for now, because it's a move in the game I could show you. Aqua Jet, flip turn, you choice band this thing. You just go max damage output. It's got some decent bulk. Or you go speed. And you've got like, let's check his moves actually. Let's just check his moves. Basque Legion. So you have, yeah, Phantom Force. That's really solid. Wave Crash is here. You have Head Smash too. Ooh. Ooh, that's fun. This is also another Swift Swim Pokemon, but I think you just adaptability. You could actually Swift Swim. That's not a bad idea at all either. Yeah, Swift Swim. Wave Crash, which is just like, it's a priority move in Legends Arceus, so I'm just going to say Aqua Jet. You've got Flip Turn. You've got to be able to learn Flip Turn, right? Unless Flip Turn is just not in this game for some reason. I'm not seeing it, so I will take it out. But Phantom Force for Ghost Stab. You tear Water with adaptability or Swift Swim. Oh, so it's not Rattle, it's Swift Swim instead. Okay. Interesting. You even have Mold Breaker, so you can just get rid of the Storm Drain on Gastrodon and smack Gastrodon. So really good water. I think this is going to be really good water type. Aqua Jet, Wave Crash, you know, Ice Fang. You have Soak, which could maybe be cool. You have Head Smash. Might as well just run Head Smash. Might as well just run it, because you can. What's another good move here? Liquidation. Let's just say Liquidation. And yeah, you just like hit things really, really hard. That's what Basque Legion does. It's gonna be solid. Sneasler. I know this thing has these moves, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Poison Touch, really good. Sash, really, really good item. It's pretty frail. So it has Fake Out, really solid. Support move, Close Combat, Dire Claw, which has the chance to poison, paralyze, or make drowsy. I don't know if drowsy's in this game. I don't think so. So let's just go ahead and say Poison Jab instead, and then Protect. This thing also has Knockoff, I want to say. You Sneasler. You have Metal Claw. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Close Combat, Dire Claw, or Poison Jab works too. Actually, don't see Fake Out. But Sneasel has Fake Out. So I imagine it has Fake Out, right? Let me come down to Sneasel. Sneasel has... Oh, Sneasel 1. Here we go. Egg moves. Fake Out. Yeah, so it has Fake Out. Via Egg move. So what else do we have? We got Swords Dance. It could be really scary there. Do you have Knockoff? I'm not seeing... Knockoff. Let's go to this other one. Do you have Knockoff here? Quick Guard. I'm not seeing Knockoff, but just this set alone is really good. Really, really good offensive prowess. Probably just go Terra Fighting. Oh, I can definitely spell. You probably just go Terra Fighting for damage. You could go Ghost with Shadow Claw if you wanted to, or Dark. I'm just going to say variety. I'm going to say this thing has a lot of interesting coverage. It's going to be a really strong Pokemon. I don't know what you Terra into, but you probably don't even Terra it. You just like use it for Fake Out and stuff. Really, really strong. Overquill. I don't know. It's a Swift Swim Pokemon. You use it for Intimidate. Let's just look at Overquill. Overquill, here we go. Do we have good moves here? Icy Wind, Intimidate, Icy Wind, cool. Do you like Snarl? I don't think this thing's gonna be that good, so I'm gonna ignore it. And then Enamorous. There's two Enamorous. So Enamorous with Contrary is going to ignore and actually reverse Electrowebs from Regieleki, which is really cool. Moonblast, Mystical Fire, Earth Power, Protect. You can go Ground or Fire, and you just turn the tide on Steel types. And I think you just Life Orb. This is what I do with this thing. I'd be surprised if it gets like Tailwind. You get Tailwind, oh my god. Wow, actually? Wow, okay. You actually get Tailwind. That's crazy. So this thing's gonna be super useful. This is kind of how I'd use this thing. I think you turn it into like a ground type or something. Or even just Mono Fairy. Really, really strong Pokemon. They have Contrary just to kind of revert stuff. And I think the really, really good one is going to be the Therian form with Overcoat, so you're already immune to Powder and stuff. I think Assault Vest. Let me come down here. Does it get like Calm Mind or something? You do have Calm Mind, which is really crazy too. But you Moonblast this thing. This thing has, so look at the stats. Really good stats, really good bulk, really high HP. You're going to do something like this. You put it in Trick Room. For sure. Please don't tell me it can set his own Trick Room. I don't think so. I don't see Trick Room. Okay, good. Whew, thank God it can't set his own Trick Room. Earth Power. You have Mystical Fire. You have Earth Power, you have Mystical Fire, you just learn. I think you Assault Vest this thing. And you can like Dazzling Gleam. You have Draining Kiss too. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam. I think you do something like this. Or you could Calm Mind set it. And this thing is just super hard to deal with. And Trick Room. And it's a really good Pokemon. And that is it. Oh, and you turn into a ground type. You turn into a ground type to kill the poison types and the steel types that threaten you. And the electric types that threaten you. And the only thing you're weak to is ice. But you have, like, who cares? You're Assault Vest. I think, yeah. I think you just go with this. Yeah, ground is just, like, perfect coverage for you. You could Calm Mind. You could do a Calm Mind set. You could do Moonblast. Moonblast, Earth Power. Calm Mind. And Protect. This actually might be a better set. Yeah, you just tear ground. It's just super strong. Super good Pokemon. Alright, that's it. I got 4 pages of all the Pokemon, the non-restricted Pokemon that are returning to the game that I think are going to be useful. Thank you all for tuning in. If you did. Love y'all. My voice is tired. I got to get ready for work. Peace.